the commentary team in just a minute. It's going to be an absolute belter. The guys are predicting goals. We're all expecting that. We're going to hear shortly from Ryan Stevenson, Kevin Thompson and Liam McLeod. Full commentary from Tynecastle, the Edinburgh Derby. Let's get you in the mood.
All the action from all the biggest games. All the biggest games.
5:45.
The Edinburgh Derby. The Edinburgh Derby.
No chance for that one. Halkett header.
Oh, lovely turn. Jimmy McGrath makes it 2-0. What a brilliant finish that is from Jimmy McGrath. He takes a bow.
Shanklin gets the shot off, scores. Fine finish on the left foot, past the diving Jack Butland into the far post area. Chris Cannon shooting! There it is, Chris Cannon! Kuzaridas has won it for Hearts! It's Cabbage! It's Cabbage!
Bring it right in. It's Bashiri. Once again in Europe.
Goal! Braga again! Long with the head, the keeper spills out close to Braga, back in the net. 3-3.
Shot it goal! What a strike that is! Josh Mulligan.
The Edinburgh Derby. Edinburgh Derby. This is Sports Sound.
A very good evening to you here in the capital, down the Gorgie Road, as Heart of Midlothian prepare to go head-to-head with Hibernian amidst a wall of noise inside Tynecastle Park. Not a seat to be had under the lights as dusk begins to fall on Scotland's capital city. The 342nd Edinburgh Derby. Hearts looking for their 150th competitive win over Hibs, who are looking for a third successive victory over Hearts for the first time since between 1921 and 1922. They are also, the High Bees, unbeaten in their last 4 visits to Tynecastle. And Hearts have only won 1 of the last 8 against Hibs, which is quite remarkable, as they have had long periods of dominance in the fixture down the years. Both sets of players are out on the perfect playing surface down there. The mascots getting the pre-match photograph with the 2 captains, Lawrence Shanklin to the right, Martin Boyle to the left, flanking the referee David Dickinson, who's taking charge of his first Edinburgh Derby as he makes his way over after the coin toss to the main stand to hand the coin to the 4th official. We're at the back of the Wheatfield stand, underneath where the TV cameras are housed here. And the lineups, if you missed them earlier, Svolov in goal for Hearts, who have McEntee, Halkett, Findlay and Kingsley at the back, Milne, Beningame, Devlin, Kizaridis, Shanklin and Braga. Hibs with Salinger in goal, O'Hara, Hanley and Iredale, Chris Cadden, Mulligan, Barlasser and Obita, with Campbell supporting Boyle and Bowie. What a match it could be. And they are just about ready to go here. Don't really feel the wind, which is still blowing a gale outside, but in this enclosed bear pit of an arena, it's relatively benign, and it will be a Hibs who'll kick off as they shoot from left to right in the green and white towards Gorgie Road. Hearts towards the Roseburn school end, right to left in the maroon shirts, white shorts and maroon socks. The first derby between them this season here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Lest we forget, there was an Edinburgh Derby in this city earlier today in League 2 as Edinburgh City beat Spartans. But in the top flight, this is where the focus is, and it's Hibs who kick off. A bizarre kick-off there as it's rolled back to Iredale, who pumps it up high towards the Hearts 18-yard line, but it's drawn a throw-in over on the far side, level with the edge of the D. So it's actually worked a treat here because they've got Hearts hemmed in the opening seconds. Kevin Thompson.
I've seen a few, Liam, but I've never seen one like that before. But let's just wait and see what transpires, because that might pay dividends.
Well, it was Iredale who got it played back to him. He took a touch, lifted it into the air, and with a second booted it high towards the box. It's his long thrown into the area. Svolov gets fists to it and gets it half away. Now it's with Kizaridis getting it from Braga, who gets it back into his stride, driving across the halfway line. Flooded back there in green and white for the Hibs defenders. Obita goes back to Salinger, who clears high into the midfield, but it's helped on its way by Campbell out to this near side, where Stephen Kingsley lets it go out for a a throw-in, and it will be important, Ryan, for the Hibs players. I suppose they'll want to get themselves bedded into this game quickly, because Hearts, with the home crowd behind them, with a feel-good factor here, with a potential 5-point lead at the top of the Premiership as the prize, Hibs will need to get themselves into the game early as Braga comes through and it comes back to Salinger. Ryan?
Yeah, I think if you're Hibs, the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, all you really want to do is play in Hearts' half. You don't want to be giving anything sloppy away, which they are at the moment.
Iredale just did that.
And Hearts are starting to put a few passes together.
Kingsley rolling it out to Kizaridis on this near side. He really has impressed as the Greek toes it back with the outside of the boot to Beningame. It's a big switch out towards Harry Milne, who signed that new deal in the tail end of the working week there. It's now back with Devlin. There's a foul on the far side on Milne on the touchline, main stand side, the Hearts right, and they've got a free kick and an opportunity here about level with the edge of the Hibs D to swing this into the mixer.
Hearts just look good. I think that after that kind of strange start from kick-off from Hibs, Hearts getting a couple of passes together, obviously a little break there as well, but Hearts will look to get right at Hibs right from the start. I think that'll be one of the points that they've put across, is get right at them right from the start.
An opportunity here, first of the match for Hearts. Milne and Kizaridis over the free kick. It's Harry Milne's a decent delivery as well, and it just flicks off a Hearts head. It was Craig Halkett, he was on the score sheet last week against Falkirk, who puts it past the left-hand post. It will stay 0-0 on 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball for Harry Milne. Really in a real danger area. Lovely whip with that left peg. Don't think Halkett knows much about it, Liam, to be honest. It just comes off Grant Hanley, I think.
Very good game at Parkhead last week. Did Hanley is the long ball from Salinger comes all the way through into the Hearts half of the header, won by McEntee, out to Milne on the far side. Shanklin flicks on the giver Braga. It's cut out, it bounces off a Hearts boot and out for a Hibs throw-in over on the far side. I think it would be fair to say that the Hibs supporters, Kevin, have been utterly sick of hearing about this Hearts title challenge this season.
Yeah, and they'll come in their voice, you can hear them, the atmosphere's electric, it's brilliant. Only if you could be playing there, it would be magic. Just looking for a bit of composure, really, Liam. It's just 100 mile per hour as you'd expect. Just need to try and get that composure, a wee foot in the ball to get a foothold.
Beningame close quarters to Kizaridis, flashes it out to Kingsley. He's midway inside his own half here. He goes back to Stuart Findlay. He's settled into life at Hearts seamlessly after all those spells at Kilmarnock. And Derry McInnes knows from his time at Rugby Park. And it's Findlay again out to Kingsley on this near side. So a couple of fabulous goals against Hibs in his Hearts career. Stephen Kingsley, particularly perhaps that one in the Scottish Cup semis at Hampden. Devlin picks up in the engine room, manages to get away from Mulligan, pulls it to the left for Kingsley. He's got Kizaridis on the near side touchline, up against Cadden, chops in field, then back onto his left side, back onto his right. It is Kizaridis, no teammates show for him, so he's turned back out to the left, rolls it low to Kingsley, back to Kizaridis, and then a poor touch from Braga will allow Hibs in to clear here through Mulligan, and it bounces off Findlay and out for a throw-in.
That was actually a really good play again from Hearts, but just that final touch when it goes in, the striker, you've got to try and hold that up. You can't really have a bad touch, especially when you're inside the Hibs 18 yard box. But it's a good start from Hearts, really good.
Yeah, playing with a swagger just now, and you can understand that. They're enjoying their best start to a top flight season since 2018, when they had collected the same number of points from their first 6. They also won match day 7 that season, which is where they're at now. There goes out, Hibs up the pitch here, throw in, and Cadden over it. Chris Cadden, Nicky Cadden, his twin brother on the bench again this afternoon, as Dave Gray continues to prefer Jordan Obita over on that far side, and the Hibs left. There will be a throw in here for the visitors. O'Hara is over it, stolen a yard or two down below us, and some of the Hearts fans pointing that out to David Dickinson. It's pulled into the home side's penalty area, headed away by Findlay, breaks to Mulligan, back to O'Hara, then out wide right for Cadden. Level with the Hearts penalty spot, rolls it into Mulligan, dinks the cross, left hand side looking for Obita, goes over his head, but he's going to go out to that left hand side to retrieve it under pressure from Oisin McEntee. Back to Obita, tried to knock it down the line there for Barlasser. It breaks back to Obita, who goes down and wins the free kick. The howls of derision from the Hearts supporters at the referee's decision there. It's an opportunity for Hibs this time to try and get the ball into that Hearts penalty area. It is 0-0 on 6 minutes.
Yeah, the home fans weren't happy about that one. Just kept it alive a beat up. Looking obviously to try and create that opening to put it in with his left peg. Certainly think this will be a catalyst for the game today. Set plays, both got big teams, both really aggressive in the air. It's amazing how much set plays have become such a focal point of the game.
See what Hibs do with this one. It's Obita. It's a decent ball in. It's just too high for Hanley. Breaks the Boyle. Shoots. Saved by Spolov. The really tight angle, and the big German saves with his feet there. And Hearts managed to bundle it clear out for a Hibs throw-in on this near side. The first shot and angle of the game, and it comes from Martin Boyle, who scored a winner here before, of course.
Thought it was right on cue there. Martin Boyle at the back post. Lovely ball in again. He just locks at that back post. I actually thought Grant Hanley could go and head it. Obviously just slightly too high. It's a brilliant save down at his feet.
I think Boyle's done everything right there, isn't he? Just trying to get a bit of power on it. Hit it right. How many times have you told that as a striker? Just hit it at the goalkeeper's feet. But great save in the end. Yeah,
he's done well. The new goalkeeper who arrived from Union Berlin in Germany, and Craig Gordon back in the bench today, Ryan. That's a bonus, isn't it? It's two excellent goalkeepers, and Xander Clark can't now get a look in.
Yeah, listen, big Craig, you get back in the Scotland squad as well is great for him, but I think that just shows you as much as Hearts for the last 4 or 5 minutes have been really, really good with possession and passing. One opportunity and they could have been 1-0 down, so it just shows you in a derby really everything sort of goes out the window, doesn't it? I mean, it could have been totally different there.
Scored a double here, Martin Boyle, before in a victory 6 Boxing Days ago. Hibs won here last season, and their match was a draw between them. It's Hanley's long ball out to Cadden, sails over the number 12's head and out for a Hearts throw deep inside their own half here.
He's just trying to be too neat and tidy, Grant Hanley. He's obviously looking for that forward pass. Don't know why he just doesn't throw it down the throat of Kieran Bowie. He's got the physicality, it then allows you something to drop in, but when you're trying to be too cute down the channels, you just end up giving the ball away.
He's been brilliant in a couple of big games recently, Grant Hanley. The game at Celtic Park last week, but obviously for the national team in Copenhagen as well. That World Cup opener last month, to rock that night as the ball's tossed forward by Campbell. Boyle's trying to get in behind. Halkin had to get there and does, and puts it out for a throw into Hibs here, about level with the Hearts penalty spot on the Wheatfield stand side on the Hibs right as they attack the goal to the right.
And I think that's what Hibs need to do. Even me there, as soon as it gets launched over the defender's head, I'm sort of on tenterhooks as well. So I think that's what Hibs have to do. As we know, Boyle's got electric pace, and even just a ball over the top can cause Hearts massive problems.
Long thrown into the box by O'Hara. It's flicked away by Kingsley, and then the clearance completed by Braga. Good spell this for Hibs. So Bita on the left-hand side looking for the big switch, left to right. He finds the head of O'Hara. Nods it into the box, only half away. Mulligan steps onto it, drives forward into the box. His route forward blocked though. Then breaks out to Shankland. He'll roll it to his right for Milne. Now Hearts trying to flex their muscles here. It is Harry Milne driving down the right. They're going to try and get Braga involved down the line. Obita holding him off, but I think there might be a flailing elbow there, and David Dickinson's gone to his pocket. He's going to book Jordan Obita, and he's given Hearts the free kick. It's a very similar, if not the exact same position as the free kick they had just a moment or two ago.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, Liam, to be honest, because he gets to the ball first, does a beat up, he just trails his arm. It's so hard to see from here, but the linesman's right at it. Obviously here in reckless, really flaring arm. He gets to the ball first. The beat, I don't know why he just doesn't deal with it. He can go home, they can recycle it, they can start again, and now he's put his team under a wee bit of pressure.
He's put himself under pressure as well, hasn't he? That yellow card in such a frenetic occasion here. 10 minutes in, Hearts free kicks, the same two, Milne and Kizaridis, who are over it. 10 minutes in, no goals. It was Milne last time. Kizaridis with the right or Milne with the left. It does look as though it favours Milne. Will they change it? It's going to be Milne again. This time he's going very deep, too deep there, and Halkett's not even going for it. There was too much on it. Sails over his head and behind for the goal kick. That's a big relief for Jordan Obita in particular, but for Hibs as a team, that Hearts have failed to take advantage of that, and comes to nothing.
Yeah, I think as Tomo said earlier, the set pieces are massive nowadays, and just with the wind, having that set piece there, you've just really got to just put it in between the sticks, ask questions of the goalkeeper, ask questions of the defenders, running back towards their own goal. So yeah, majorly disappointing there.
Here come Hibs up the other end. It's Bowie looking to get round the left-hand side of the box. He's on to it. He's so strong, holding off Halkett. Rolls it back to Obita. Takes a touch. Should he have crossed first time? Perhaps he should have done, because he's ended up giving away another free kick over on the far side as he bundles Devlin to the deck. And it's another opportunity. I just felt there, Kevin, he needs to wrap the left foot round it first time, get it into the box.
Yeah, and he's got a brilliant left peg. I don't know why he doesn't. And then now all of a sudden he catches the fans' attention, he catches the referee's attention. You know that every time he's going to go into contact, the home fans will be up out of their seats. You've got to expect somebody like Grant Hanley, the experienced boys in the pitch, or Boyley, just to get a hold of him, just to tell him to relax.
These kind of occasions,
he's going to become the pantomime villain, so
yes,
you
he
can
will.
just see that. Tom was 100% right.
But I mean, you've played in these. I mean, at times, if things don't go your way, if you get booked early on, your head can swim, can't it? You start maybe losing the plot a little bit.
I got booked after 6 minutes in an Old Firm, and I managed to thankfully have the right people.
Can you get that out of your head? Can you get it out of your head?
I just used to have red mist, Liam, you know that.
Feels like ages ago now. It's Kingsley going after it on the near side, goes straight to Cadden. No, not into the Hearts half. Did that come off Devlin's hand? I think it probably did, but the ref didn't spot it. The Hibs fans in the stand behind the goal to the left saw it as Milne takes his eye off it and it goes out under his foot for a throw-in over on the far side to the visitors, and it is the visiting supporters who have their turn to have a go at referee Dickinson down there. It's as much as it's a big evening for these players, it's a huge night for David Dickinson as well, taking charge of his first Edinburgh derby. You'll hope it doesn't get away from him as well. Looking for a quiet enough night. Long throw in Hibs into the Hearts half. Boyle chases. Finlay clears out for a throw in on the far side.
It really is amazing that, and when you think of Milne, he puts a brilliant ball in, then he gets the same opportunity in the same area, overhits it, his next touch then goes under his foot. It just shows you how difficult it is. We're real good players with lots of experience, but the occasion, not just a beat under pressure with having a yellow card, but just every player's under pressure. You make a wee mistake, it's amazing how much animosity.
And because they're up against each other, you'd literally be like, listen, just get at him, and then he's just letting the ball go right out of the park. So
long thrown into the Hearts box as is dealt with by the home defence. Devlin leaves it as it comes back towards the 18-yard line. Finlay gets it away. Hanley's onto it, turns it back to Iredale. First time with the left foot out to the left side for Obita. Infield, Barlasser can't get onto it. It's now with Kizaridis, who finds Beningame, and now it's with Shankland on the halfway line. The Hearts skipper switches it to Kingsley on the left. Kingsley takes a touch and moves it forward there to Kizaridis. A fabulous goal he scored last weekend. As it comes back to Halkett in his own half to the right for McEntee. Fires it forward to the right, too much on it for Shankland, too hot to handle. It goes out for a Hibs throw-in, bouncing off Shankland's boot. It's a Hibs throw right in front of the Hearts manager, Derek McInnes.
I don't really want Lance there. I think when he's running towards the ball and then it's like absolutely rattled into him. Even if he takes a really good touch there, he's under so much pressure. I like Lance just further up the pitch. I think that the higher up the pitch is, get it in behind them and ask Hibs questions.
Yeah, and there were times when Derek McInnes' predecessor Neil Critchley would play him in that kind of more withdrawn role, which perhaps had something to do with the smaller goal tally he amassed last season. Albeit he ended up still Hearts' top scorer. Hibs have a throw-in back into the Hearts box. It comes, it's nodded away and picked up by Claudio Braga on the far side. He turns and clears all the way into the Hibs half, where it's gathered by Cadden. Cadden left-hand side of the centre circle. To the left, it's Iredale. Long chip ball forwards. Too much on it for Campbell, who applauds the effort, but it sails behind for the goal kick. And it will stay approaching 15 minutes. Hearts 0, Hibs 0.
I think it's really evident, Liam, that Hibs are really stifling the middle of the pitch. You can almost see from where we are in the gantry, that 4, and then the one just sitting behind, quite happily for Hearts to have it on their fullbacks to play down the sides, because they're probably trying to nullify Braga and Shankland, because that's where they become really dangerous. No doubt more than happy to play down Mills' side, just allow him to maybe deliver. He's not one that's really going to hurt you, but
it's going to be a goal kick here for Hearts, with Shvolov over it. He's taking his time at the moment. It's some maroon and white bunting has made its way onto the pitch off to our right. It was a display pre-match from the Hearts supporters just as the teams were coming out of the tunnel, but there is a stoppage here. I thought it was Schwolov taking a while, but there's obviously a stoppage for something. It's not obvious unless it's just the objects I mentioned that have come from the pre-match display.
Surely at that stage the goalkeeper's just got to go and take it off. I know we don't want one. What was it, Darren Bent against Sunderland in Liverpool, wasn't it? We don't want that sort of thing, but surely the players just run and get it and fling it off.
Well, they're doing that now. Kingsley and Beningame have taken the responsibility to deal with that. It was the fourth official, Dan McFarlane, who was wanting action taken against
the two young ball boys. Look really enthusiastic about doing it down there in the corner.
They made their way towards the scene as soon as the players got to it. Anyway, it's going to be game on again here to that mini stoppage. Schwolov will take the goal kick on the right hand side of the 6-yard box. Along with the right foot, sails up high into the air, drops down into the Hibs half. Over the head of a couple of players, breaks to Iredale, who controls and wallops it clear high into the Edinburgh sky. It goes with the left foot, drops down off the head of Findlay, nods it out wide right to McEntee, down the line for Milne, and then back in field for Halkett, who squares it to Findlay. Rolls it out to Kingsley on the left, and then back to Stuart Findlay and to Halkett. There's a real continuity in selection for Derek McInnes at the moment. Third game in a row he started the same 11. As Campbell flicks on from the long Hearts ball, it might break McEntee's way here. He's onto it, he mops up, turns it to the left for Kingsley. Best chance of the game so far has fallen to Hibs, fell to Martin Boyle, saved by the legs of Schwolov. Hearts yet to test Salinger. They've had a couple of free kicks into the Hibs penalty area. One almost fell for Halkett, who headed wide as Beningame rolls it out wide left for Kingsley. Level with the edge of the D of the Hibs box. Back to Beningame in field and then to Kizaridis. Stabs it short there to Beningame, who goes back to Devlin, who has returned to the Australia squad. The new coach there selecting him for the first time ahead of this international window, which begins after tomorrow's Premiership action, as Halkett turns it out to that right-hand side for McEntee in field to Milne. And he plays it straight off Iredale. He's done well, he anticipated it. Boyle goes down looking for a free kick but not getting one. In fact, he has got one. Well, that's a belated decision by referee Dickinson, and Derek McInnes is incensed about that. He is furious. He went straight to the fourth official. Now he's letting the referee know, because it looked as though that had gone.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it is a foul, Liam, but if it is a foul, it's surely a yellow card. You know, Boyley's in top speed, he's opened his legs up, nicks it off him, Milne, he recovers, fouls. I think it was soft, but
the ref was hesitant there, wasn't he? It's almost like, oh, maybe that is a free kick.
Dave Gray's bark was obviously louder on the sideline.
Yeah. He's standing up just now, the Hibs boss. Fabulous 10 months in the job for him, albeit too many draws this term. Iredale's free kick into the box doesn't reach Hanley, it's headed away, breaks to Mulligan, heads it forward, headed away by Shankland. Little flick from Kizaridis to Braga, doesn't pay off, and Hibs have it back. Wide left, Bowie pulls it back. There's too much on it for Campbell. The Hearts defence just stopped there. It's now with Cadden. He's got time to take a touch. He crosses in with the right foot, bends it in. Headed away by Milne to Obita, hits it on the volley, takes a deflection. Hibs corner. 0-0, 19 minutes played.
See that Kizaridis, and that, I get all the fans are great flicking off, but see in that circumstances he has to hold that in.
That area of the pitch.
Honestly. Because now, from doing that, Hibs have got another ascendancy, get another corner. I mean, it's so, especially in these games, it's so important that if you get a chance to hold the ball, and as a striker, he has to hold that. He has to let the defenders and the midfield's get up close to him.
Jordan Obita is out to take the corner off to our right. A few bits and bobs making their way from the stand towards Obita. And it's just bits of paper and the like. It's not going to do him any damage, but he knows he's not surrounded by friendly people towards him, certainly, as Cadden gets onto it from Obita's low corner back. It breaks to Cadden again from Campbell back to Obita. Decided to take the short corner, and they've ended up all the way back in the halfway line, and that's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. When you do that, it does look a little bit foolish.
Oh, I'd be going mad. I don't know why he just doesn't put the ball in the box.
They're all in there, the centre-backs are all in there for Hibs. We have it with Boyle driving down the right-hand side of the Hearts box. It's takes it through to Schwolov.
It's reading the room, it's what we're talking about. It's like, you're in a derby, just swing it in the area. Go and let the big guys, I mean, you've got Grant Hanley there who's with headed his granny. Just put it in the area, let him go and try and attack it. exact same as we're saying about Hearts here, trying to hold the ball up.
It becomes really basic, right, doesn't it? But the basics are normally the things that win you games. It's doing the basics right, it's reading the room, it's feeling the game. The big boys are up for a set play, you've got a wee bit of pressure mounting and put it in the box.
And the supporters up the other end of Tynecastle, the Hibbies, they're all waiting and expecting that ball to come into the box and get a bit of excitement.
I tell you something, when we were playing, see if you'd done that, see the big guys at the centre half when they were running back, if you'd taken a short corner, they would soon let you know about it as well.
If I'd done that under Walter Smith, it would have took me off.
It's a long ball from Salinger that breaks back to him. It's Campbell trying to flick on. Hearts fans claimed he fouled Halkett, ended up back in Hearts' possession anyway. She followed the keeper out to Kingsley on the left. Approaching the end of the first quarter of what's been a fairly scrappy Edinburgh derby so far. No goals yet. Kingsley rolls it infield to Beningame. Under pressure from Mulligan. Turns it out wide right for McEntee. The league leaders come forward here. First time ball infield, Shankland. Nice flick to Beningame. Back into his own half for Milne. Milne presses it forward here for Braga. It's under pressure from two Hibs players, but he's managed to work it out to Kingsley on the left. Down the line for Kizaridis. Skips infield up against Mulligan. He's decided to shoot, and it's not a million miles away. I'll tell you that much. I mean, we've seen that so often from Alexandros Kizaridis in a maroon shirt there, and he just cuts infield, and he was going to let fly. He knew he had one thing on his mind, but it sails just whistling over Salinger's bar and stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0.
That was nearly the carbon copy from last week, wasn't it, against Falkirk? The exact same. You can tell that's what he wants to do. He wants to try and cut in, get on his right foot, and he looks for that sort of curly one on his right foot into the top corner. And I mean, it was another 5 or 6 inches low, and it didn't straight in that top corner. So yeah, good play.
You know, that goes in, it's sublime. But here come Hibs up the other end. Bowie through for Boyle, looking to get the break of the ball off Halkett's gone behind for the goal kick though. Despite Boyle's best efforts to keep it in, it will be a goal kick to Hearts. Kevin, what have you made of the game? I'm calling it scrappy. Is that harsh?
Yeah, possibly, Liam. I think that's fair to say. I think when you think of Boyley's opportunity that hits low at the goalkeeper's legs, Abita had the one just obviously that flashed by the goal, deflected out for a corner. Hearts have just had the opportunity where they've cut inside and had a good shot, but apart from that, when you think of good passes and good passes to play, any sustained pressure as well, it's almost been a bit like a pendulum. Hibs have had a wee bit control, and then they've probably culpable with their own mistakes, turning the ball over. Hearts have been a wee bit the same.
It is goalless, and it's McEntee to Beningame, right to the centre circle in the Hibs half. Out to Milne, who goes back to Halkett, goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Derry McInnes, quite incredible. He's never lost as a manager at home to Hibs in the top flight in 15 previous fixtures.
Jinx.
It's quite incredible. That's in his time at St Johnstone, Aberdeen and Kilmarnock. Never lost at home to Hibs.
Love stats that can get broken, Liam.
That one surprised me, to be fair. I mean, I remember him having a terrific record against Hibs at home at Pittodrie as Aberdeen manager. The Kilmarnock ones, the last 4 been draws, but he's got an exceptional record against Edinburgh's green and white as a home boss. Can he begin life in this fixture as the Hearts manager and keep that going? As it comes back to Findlay, rolls it into the centre circle for Halkett, who then turns it out to the right for McEntee. Back from the Irishman to Halkett. First time ball low forward to Devlin, and then back to Craig Halkett, who sweeps it from right to left of the circle to Kingsley. Kingsley out to this near side touchline for Kizaridis, trying to burst away from Cadden, who sticks to him well, wins it back infield for Barlasser, but they've given it away, and now it's with Kizaridis driving down the left. Cadden late with the challenge. Hearts free kick at the left angle of the box. This might be a yellow for the Hibs number 12 as well, albeit he seems to be getting away with that. But what he isn't getting away with is the fact that Hearts have a free kick which is just a yard or so away from the angle of the Hibs box.
He has got to book him for this. I'm actually hoping that he pulls him back.
Doesn't look like it. Well, I mean, if he's...
That's a stonewall yellow.
Yeah, I was expecting a yellow there.
Never you get away with that. I should put my boots back on. I actually think I'd no ability to get a game nowadays in these games that you can't tackle, but he does brilliant. Cadden, he just gets caught reactive rather than anticipation. Lazy lunge really, and he puts his team under pressure.
And now Hearts have a superb opportunity here, and it's Kizaridis. He's gone for the far post, and Salinger saves with his left boot. I mean, any kind of touch is taking that into the net, I think, as Hibs clear. Back out it comes, long ball out to the left for Kizaridis, who leaves it for Shanklin, takes a touch, left foot cross comes in, clear by Barlasar, and out it goes for a Hearts throw-in, level with the Hibs penalty spot. It's the right idea from Kizaridis, isn't it? Any touch, that's probably going in.
He's been the one, isn't he? He's been the one that's just had that wee bit of flair, albeit we've seen him turn the ball over in a dangerous area, but when he's been in that final third, he's poking and prodding, he's looking for that wee give and go, he's always coming inside the pitch, his delivery is right on point, as you mentioned, Liam, he's just waiting for a flick.
Long thrown into the box from Kingsley towards the 6-yard line. It's flicked on towards Milne and then breaks to Halkett, who's a wild swing at it, blocked by the defender and out for a Hearts throw in again on this near side from the same position. Level with the Hibs penalty spot, taken short to Kizaridis, fires the cross ball in, headed back by Milne, breaks to Braga, Beningame goes after it. Braga was just about to lick his lips at the prospect of getting a shot away there as Hibs get the free kick for a foul and Mulligan over on the far side. Well, it's right on the edge, this game, right on the edge. The supporters are on the edge of their seats, and every single decision being made by David Dickinson at the moment seems to be incurring the wrath of both sets of supporters. It stays 0-0.
It was better play there from Hearts, so asking a few questions, obviously a long throw in and then a couple of crosses. I think that when Hearts have had good play and they've had a couple of passes, they're quite happy to come back out again, where you really want them to have 4 or 5 passes, but then there has to be an end goal in it. Can we get it wide? Can we get a cross in the box? Can we ask questions of Hibs? And you see there, as soon as they do that, a couple of crosses in the box or a long throw in, the crowd engage with them, and it just gets them right on the front foot. So that's what they need to start doing.
Hearts 0, Hibs 0. They met 3 times last season. Hibs emerging on top twice. The first game, which was here, ended in a draw. Both sides finishing in different halves of the Premiership table. Come the split last term, it was Hearts turn in the bottom 6, not something they are used to. They've been a top flight side, just a handful of occasions they have been in the bottom 6. Obviously included a couple of relegations, and they have been. Here's Kizaridis knocking it through, looking for Braga, cross coverings, Hanley slides in and puts it up high into the wheat field, and out for a Hearts throw in. Stephen Kingsley's over about level with the edge of the arc of the Hibs box. Kingsley with it, short to Kizaridis, then to Kingsley again, forward to Braga. It's nicked off by Cadden, who swoops it clear up towards the halfway line where Findlay meets it, finds Devlin, and now it's Halkett, and then over to the right for McEntee. Low ball along the grass, forward into the Hibs half for Shanklin, who goes all the way back first time to Halkett. And then to Findlay, to Schwoloff. Hibs looking for that win that would take them the 3rd, despite their remarkable run of draws. There's been a few remarkable run of draws in the Premiership. It's still in its relative infancy this season. They've drawn 5 in a row, Hibs, for the first time since September, October 2019. Their record is 6, which they did in the 90s. There'll be another draw here today. It is at the moment 0-0, but here come Hearts approaching the half hour. Kizaridis on the left, cross comes in, Barlasar turns it behind for the corner. There's just a feeling the Hearts have a little bit of a stranglehold on this game right now.
Yeah, and again, all it is a simple yard past the defender and get a cross in, and you see again just the crowd on their toes, gets them up, gets Hearts a corner and can put a bit more pressure on them.
Alexandros Kizaridis over this in-swinging corner for Hearts, right in front of the Hibernian supporters. Hibs have everyone back. In comes the corner. The header's met at the angle of the 6-yard box. It comes off the Hearts man last. It was Braga, and it will be a harmless header, well wide, goal kick Hibs, and goalless at Tynecastle. But earlier in the Premiership, a draw between Dundee United and Livingston. Livy led through Pittman, and it was at half-time. Karetzis making it 1-1 in the second half. Kilmarnock with a 2-0 win over St Mirren. Watson and Dackers with the goals in that one. Tomorrow it is Aberdeen, Dundee, Celtic, Motherwell and Falkirk Rangers, all kicking off at 3 o'clock. Coverage of those matches here on Sportsound. Highlights in the evening, as there are this evening of this game, and the two I mentioned that finished earlier on. It is a Hibs ball, Salinger in his own box, long with the right foot, looking for Campbell, who flicks on. Boyle goes after it. Schwoloff's out quickly and promptly to the edge of his box, and he gathers with both gloves. You just cannot take your eyes off Martin Boyle for a second, because any slip from any defender and it could be curtains. You consider the pace of the Hibs skipper at number 10, continuing to captain the side in the absence of Joe Newell. Hasn't kicked a ball yet this season, he's had his injury problems recently. Schwoloff with a long clearance, comes off the head of Iredale back towards his own goal, and Milne's after it, but Ubita gets there first, and he had to, because Harry Milne was looking to get him behind there. He'd been one-on-one with Salinger otherwise. Throw in taken quickly. It's now with Kingsley in field to Devlin, then back to Stephen Kingsley, who finds Kizaridis on the left. Now he's attacking Cadden again. Cadden gets between the man and the ball and is able to turn it out for a throw-in. It's all quite hard work for Hibernian right now. Approaching 32 minutes at 0-0.
Even Cammy Devlin's influence is becoming bigger and bigger. He might not be doing the flary bits like the front boys, but he's just picking up second balls. He's continuing to lend it to his Hearts teammates.
It's now with Devlin, who crosses towards the back post. Too much on it though, but Salinger is taking a touch. He could have left that and it would have gone behind for the goal kick. Ultimately he's managed to get back onto it and gather.
Commentators cursed there, but Cammy Devlin almost kicked it straight at the pitch.
I was just going to say,
it's typical, that, isn't it?
Come on, Cammy,
get used to it.
Stick to what you're good to. Just give it to the good players, Cammy.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, which is the dog work in the midfield, and how he loves that.
Yeah, he is. He's brilliant, Liam. He really is. People talk about counter press and just a real good teammate. I know the Hearts faithful at times can be mixed opinion on him, but I watched him at Ibrox only a few weeks ago, and he's always nipping at people's heels. He's always lending the ball. He does the simple things really well.
I would imagine as a player it's the kind of guy you want in your team, because as a supporter 100%. It's the kind of guy you want in your team.
We just see both of us saying yeah straight away at the same time. There's somebody like that is just amazing for you, because you know no matter what he's going to be, even if your man slips off you, he might be able to help you out.
Foul on Bowie. Again, the Hearts fans aren't happy with the decision, but this is about midway inside the Hearts half, just slightly right of centre. He's an absolute nuisance, Kieran Bowie. Must be so difficult to play against as a defender. He's a man mountain as well, but just his brute strength. And it's so difficult for centre-backs to handle. I mean, he must be up there with the most physical of the strikers in the Scottish Premiership just now.
Yeah, and he's not really been utilised too well at the moment for Hibs, I don't think. He's had a couple that he's flicked round the corner to Boyle, but I certainly think some of the wider long balls, just throw it down his throat. He's so aggressive, so powerful, as you mentioned. He gets you up the pitch. He's a handful. Halkett and Stuart Finlay will know they're in a game.
Free kick taken by Barlasser. It's poor, but it takes a touch, whips up into the air off Braga into his own box, and then the referee sounds the whistle for a foul on Milne. And that will be a Hearts free kick inside their own box, and it will stay Hearts 0, Hibs 0 here in the capital. And Bowie's gone down. Devlin was beside him.
What were you saying there? Bowie, the strongest man in Scottish football. Cammy Devlin, the smallest guy in Scottish football, just flung him over.
It's the curse. Kevin's just been talking about it.
But even I agree with Tom, what Tom was saying there. He's hardly been in the game, and I think for Hibs, if I was him, I would just go and hang on Stephen Kingsley and just say, look, see for the next 5 minutes, put it up to me. I'll try and get flick downs, because again, or even on, probably more on Boyley's side, is go on that side and try and get flick downs, try and ask questions that way. Because I mean, he is a good player. He can score you goals out of nothing as well. So you want to try and get him in the game as much as possible.
Long ball from Schwoloff to the far side. It drops into Hibs possession, and it's Campbell knocking it back to Ubita, who smashes it forward. Bowie now holding off Halkett, not once but twice there, and then trying to spin his man. He goes down, threw himself to the deck. He's not getting the free kick. Hearts have it back. Halkett slides in, and he's done brilliantly to find Milne on the tackle there. Slid in to make a tackle. He finds Milne, but he can't find Shanklin, though. Devlin's onto it. Bowie's lost it, and it's Cammy Devlin wide on the right. Down the line it goes to Braga. Shanklin, Kizaridis and Milne in or around the box. Back out wide right for Devlin. Can they find space to cross here? Low ball into the area. It's Braga taking on Barlasser. Hibs get it clear, and it breaks to Campbell. And now Cadden gets onto it down this near side. Hesitated a little there, and that allowed Kizaridis to win it back. Beningame to Kizaridis, into Beningame, back towards Kizaridis, and then sliding into the challenges O'Hara. It comes all the way back to Salinger, but my goodness, the Hearts fans are loving Kizaridis here.
Yeah, I'm loving it as well, Liam. I want to play. I like when it gets a bit fiery. Great play for Hearts, really neat and tidy. A couple meaty challenges, just starting to bubble nicely.
It is.
that's the reason me and you can't play, because as soon as he wasn't getting that, then I'm just thinking, smash him.
You have to shut your eyes now when slide tackles happen.
An excellent season in Slovakia last term did Kizaridis, scored 16 goals in 30 appearances. And he looks to be an excellent find for Hearts, stealing a few of the headlines away from Braga and Shankland. Hearts are up the pitch again.
A real find, isn't he? He can do anything, Liam. Come inside, he's got good delivery. He's got that real good football IQ where he's got imagination in tight areas. He'd be a real good find for Hearts.
Yeah, and you can see he loves playing up to the supporters as well. The throw-in comes into the box. It's cleared by Hibs though, and they've managed to bundle it forward to Boyle here, who's driving forward. Beningame brings him, crash it to the ground, and that's going to be a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card for Beningame. Boyle got goal side of him. He was driving forward. Beningame's protesting his innocence.
Yeah, I don't think he can get away for that one. He does brilliant, does Martin Boyle. He just drives, he uses his speed that we all know he's got. I think David Dickinson's been very lenient with his yellow cards, but he certainly couldn't get away with that one.
You've got to make that tackle there, haven't you?
It's a brilliant tackle, Ryan. It's one that will put under a bit of pressure, but one that you'd expect if you're standing on the sidelines as Derek McInnes, you're probably saying foul him now, take the yellow card and move on, deal with what comes.
Well, what's coming is a free kick in a relatively central position, midway inside the Hearts half. It is Barlaser who's over
like
it.
Shooting.
Well, what is it, 30 yards from goal? He is going for a goal, kind of knuckleball efforts well wide of the left-hand post, and stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0, 37 and a half on the clock.
It was ambitious.
Yeah, you can be left with a bit of a red face if that goes wrong, as it did on that occasion.
I'm not too sure what to think of that.
He's tried to smash it, hasn't he, towards that. I'd said knuckleball, something like that, isn't it? The way he attempted to try and find the top left corner there. He's well off target.
I don't even know how to do that. I mean,
He must have tried at some point.
The head down, hit it as hard as you possibly can.
I don't know if I could reach the goal for there, Liam, to be honest. It was just a bit too far for me, but somebody will probably send us a goal on archives later tonight. He flew one in the top corner. Yeah. No doubt he practices it, but fair play. Listen, if you don't shoot, you don't score, do you?
To be fair, out of you two, I would have probably said that Ryan had the better chance of finding the target from that range.
No, I don't know.
So I played in Edinburgh Derby that Ryan scored for 30-35 yards at Easter Road, so I still didn't forget it, so trust me. So the elbows might start flying soon.
Yeah, and he didn't enjoy the moment at all, did he?
I didn't, no. I think he done about 4 laps from Easter Road.
So that's the fastest I've ever moved in my full career.
6.5 to the break here, or at least to the end of the 45. Both managers on the edge of their technical areas over there. David Gray, hands in pockets. Derek McInnes, arms folded, watching the action. Both of them kicking every ball, metaphorically speaking. As Harry Milne does some defending, gets it back to his keeper. Nice touch by Schwolov, but the referee stopped play because Devlin went down off the ball, and it was his now international colleague Jack Iredale with the... at least he was the man beside him when he went down.
I think it might have been Mulligan, actually, Liam, who really gave him one ball in the air there to be contested, and he certainly didn't miss Cammy Devlin.
It was a head knock, so that's why the ref stopped it, but he's all right to continue. A little rub of the back of the head there for Devlin.
I'm sure they'll have had a wee look at who just landed one on him. No doubt within the next few minutes we'll see a wee tackle flying.
Who's a happier manager?
I think Dave, really, just because all the pressure and expectations on Hearts, obviously, but listen, they're 50-50 games, Liam. The form goes out the window, as Ryan mentioned, pre-match, but
Hibs not getting a free kick here. It's Campbell who's gone down. Hearts will play on. Here's Devlin, wide in the right, cross into the Hibs box, cleared by Hanley. It's rid of it with the left foot, high clearance. It's Halkett who gets onto it, heads into the left for Kingsley, left to the centre circle, now into it for Stuart Findlay. He'll roll it back to Halkett, who'll go back to his keeper.
Yeah, I think if you're Derek going in at half time, you're saying, look, I think we need to ask more questions. It's been good in stages, but we need to ask more questions. And I think if you're David Gray, you're going in saying, if we get one more chance, we need to take it. That is all they really need, is a half a chance, and make sure that they hit the back of the net.
McEntee attacking the final third, finds Milne in field. Now it's Beningame under pressure from Mulligan. Wide right it comes. McEntee's cross takes a deflection, headed away by Iredale, back out to that far side. It's bounced out for the Hearts throw-in. McEntee shielding it from Campbell. And a chance for another long throw into the box. Seen plenty of those this evening. And Harry Milne it is who goes over to take this one.
It's amazing how these have started to come back into the game now as well.
Loads. Loads of teams are doing it. It'll be Harry Milne to bowl this into the Hibs box towards the angle of the 6-yard area. It's headed away by Hanley. Back to Milne. Milne gets it into the area. It's headed halfway. It's Devlin who catches it. And another
Just pass
bit
it,
of
Cammy.
ambition goes over the bar.
Just pass it, Cammy. I mean, if that's fallen to Lawrence, you're saying shoot. I think that as soon as it falls to Cammy, you're just thinking get it wide, get across in the box.
He couldn't resist it.
No.
Because in the
eyes
the
light
1 in a
up.
million
Yeah,
chance
the
that it
eyes
hits
light
the
up.
net, what a hero you are. Salinger will take a goal kick here for Hibs. Closing stages of the first half of the first Edinburgh derby of the season. Hearts 0, Hibs 0. Apologies to Spartans and Edinburgh City supporters who contested what was the official first Edinburgh derby of the season. Today, Edinburgh City winning out 1-0, League 2. In the top flight, certainly it is the first, and it is a throw-in to Hibs on this near side. And Warren O'Hara trying the ball down here. He's level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half as he looks for an option in green and white. Bowls it forward, high down the line, looking for Bowie, beaten in the jump by Findlay. Mulligan's header finds Barlasser. The unknown Middlesbrough man can only find Devlin, but they've given it away, and it's Jack Iredale. Good footwork there by Iredale. Scored a wonderful goal in this fixture at Easter Road last season. So Bita is caught, was he, by Milne. The referee's going over, and he has given the free kick. He's infuriating plenty at Tynecastle Park this evening as referee Dickinson. Just with a little bit of hesitancy in his decision making, it seems, and unless he's just calmly going about his business and not letting the crowd affect him, but they seem to be just leaving a beat before making decisions, or at least letting everyone know what the decision is, and that's annoying people.
I actually quite like it, Liam, to be honest. I think he's composing himself, he's having a look, he's giving himself a wee second or two to breathe. I certainly think Milne's really lucky not to be in the book now, but when you think he's won on Boyley obviously earlier on in the first half, he's now made another lunge on it, Obita. I'm not wanting to get the lads yellow cards obviously, but it just comes down to that consistency, and then, you know, that could be a game changer late on the game when he gets an opportunity to maybe bring Boyley down when he's breaking through and it's only a yellow card. So I think you have to be consistent with it, which brings real frustration.
Just the 2 yellows so far, Obita and Beningame. His Hibs take the free kick into the box, headed away by Shankland. It was a good header, decisive. Cadden gets on to just outside the centre circle and pumps a high ball out wide left. Good touch by Campbell. Finds Barlasser, there's no flag, comes back to Josh Campbell. Holding off Milne, rolls it back towards Obita, who's having to back wheel back into his own half to get onto it. Then he rolls it to his teammate Hanley. Long ball forward, aimed for Campbell, headed away by Milne, and it breaks to Findlay at the edge of his box. Findlay's high ball up towards Kizaridis, turns it back to Kingsley, then Kizaridis gets it back to Braga, needs to knock it through to Braga, who's going to chase after this one. Hanley's the covering player, it's an early ball in from Braga, it's just behind Shankland though, and cleared by Obita. And it bounces up towards the halfway line. Bowie going after it, goes down, no foul. It's Findlay's challenge. Bowie's gone down as if he's been smashed in the head there, and the Hearts fans are, as you can hear, not being particularly sympathetic to the Hibs number 9's plight. As Kizaridis loses out there, moves it straight to Barlasser, and Cadden's clearance comes off Braga, but that's the Hearts fans berating Kieran Bowie. That's not the first time that's happened in the match.
He's a striker, we're in a derby, like, just get up, come on. That infuriates me, but that's the part of the game that I absolutely hate. See, I'm obviously just going to me if I was playing up front. The last thing I'd be wanting to do is show any sort of weakness to the guy that I'm playing against.
2 minutes added, we're into the first of them, 0-0. Cadden flicks on, Bowie goes after it, gets something onto it. Boyle back towards Bowie, Devlin pinches it back. Bowie then nicks it back off him. Little turn, Beningame gets it off him and wins the free kick. And it's Boyle who's committed the foul. Well, I think Ryan suggested that Jordan Obita earlier on was going to be the pantomime villain. I think we've got a new cast member.
Yeah, he's definitely riling the Hearts fans up.
He's bang on though, Liam, Ryan, is that you show like some sort of emotion. If you're Stuart Findlay and Halkett, you're going, listen, nip his size, give him a wee pull, tug his jersey, stand on his toes. He maybe doesn't like the wee dark arts of the game, and listen, it's a derby, you're going to expect it, so he's got to take a bump. He's a big physical strapping lad. Get up and get on with it.
Well, it's not a stage, it's a pitch. It's not the Playhouse, it's Tynecastle, and it's Kizaridis on at left angle of the Hibs box. Crosses cut out. Bowie then looking for Boyle, can't find him. It breaks to Findlay. In his own half, goes back to Svolov. Will there be an opening goal before half time? Within the second of 2 minutes that were added on at the end of the first half of this Edinburgh derby.
The thing about that as well, I see if he bounces back up there and just gets on with it, it goes straight through the team. So see if I'm playing midfield and I see my striker bouncing back up, straight away I go, I'm getting into the next one for you. It's when they start rolling about and it sort of takes a life out of the team.
It is Hearts having to do some defending here as Salinger goes long. The header from Campbell's headed away by McEntee, breaks to Mulligan. Hibs looking for the opening goal here in the dying seconds of the first half. Abita's ball's blocked, breaks to Shanklin, gets it on the chest up towards Braga. Iredale is there to see it out for the throw-in, but I think that will be just about that for the first half. There's a throw-in over there. We played the 2 minutes that were added. Indeed, there is the half-time whistle. Well, it's been scrappy at times, it's been tempestuous at times, and it's been a little bit frayed at times, but no goals have been scored. Hibs came close through Martin Boyle. He tested Alexander Shvolov in the Hearts goal. The low effort on 7 minutes, saved at the near post by the legs of the Hearts keeper. Perhaps the closest Hearts have gone. There was a Halkett header which went wide, and the long-range effort running about the quarter mark of the match through Alexander Kizaridis, cut in from the left-hand side, drove forward and let fly as he did against Falkirk last week. But unlike what happened against Falkirk last week, this one was off target and it sailed just over the bar, but Salinger would have felt the wind as the ball whistled past him, and he was mightily relieved that Kizaridis couldn't find the target. Neither team has been able to find the net after the opening 45 minutes here at Tynecastle Park. Half-time in the Edinburgh derby is Heart of Midlothian 0, Hibernian 0.
The Edinburgh Derby.
Live on Sports Sound.
Look again!
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. It's been a busy old day. 2 games in the top flight kicked off at 3 o'clock this afternoon, both covered on Open All Mics. Dundee United 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 0. As a result of that fantastic victory for Stuart Kettlewell's side, they are up to third in the table. Hearts remain top of the table. It's goalless at half-time against Hibs at Tynecastle. Tom English is alongside me in the studio. Tom, what have you made of that first half?
An awful lot of effort, an awful lot of endeavour and aggression. One shot on target between them. Very few chances, well, no chances to speak of, really. So, disappointing, because we were all predicting and hoping for goals. We might get them yet. But I think that was just all about a lot of thud and blunder and not a lot of creativity. But, you know, we live in hope.
We do live in hope. Kevin Thompson and Ryan Stevenson alongside Liam through there at Tynecastle. Ryan, what have you made of it?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think that there's been spells where Hibs have been decent in the middle third, then Hearts have been decent. But I think only really Boyley's chance is the main big chance. So I think from Hearts' point of view, I think they'll be disappointed the fact that they've probably not had any more sustained pressure. And I think if you're Hibs, you're going in at half time and you're saying, listen, let's just try and get another couple of chances, and if we do get that, if we can get Boyley or something like that in behind, let's make sure we take it and get up the road with the 3 points.
What do you think Derek McInnes, Ryan, will be looking to change in the second period?
I think they need to get it wider. I think they need to get it wider and ask questions, get crosses in the box, get in behind Hibs. I don't really think that I've seen especially 2 centre-backs facing their own goal. It's all been sort of pretty in front of the Hibs centre-halves, and then it sort of peters out. So, I mean, if I was Derek, I would just be saying, look, can we get balls down the side? Can we get the Hibs centre halves chasing back into their own 18-yard box. As I said, I think it's been too pretty. I think it's been good to a stage, sort of just outside the 18-yard box to 25 yards out, and then it sort of all peters out. But I think certainly Hibs will go in probably feeling a bit better than what Hearts will. I think Hearts need to ask more questions. They're at home, the crowd are absolutely hanging on for just something to kick them off. So I think Hearts need to go in at half time and come back out and definitely try and put a lot more pressure on that back four of Hibs.
Kevin, you must be very satisfied with what you've seen so far from your former side.
I've really enjoyed it, Kenny. I don't think it's been a brilliant spectacle, when it comes to quality, but all the comings together, the atmosphere's been brilliant. Obviously, in amongst the Hearts fans, they're up in rafters every time there's a coming together, and that's what makes these games really quality. Yeah, probably lacking at times, but I think Hearts have actually been quite patient, which I don't think suited the front three. I think if they'd got it forward a bit earlier, like what Ryan's saying, they could have put a bit more pressure on the Hibs backline, whereas everything's been in front of them really, and then when the ball's turned over, the magic ingredient that Hibs have got is Boyley's speed. He's always playing on the shoulder. Set plays is a bit of lottery. The Hibs have tried a wee quick one that never worked, but the two early balls, the one from Milne for the far side and then the one for a beater, were brilliant deliveries, and it come for probably the best chance. Grant Hanley missing at the back post. We all thought for here at the angle that he could have got onto the end of it. It drops to Boyley, and he does like what Ryan said. Any good striker, keep your head down, get your body over it, and try and hit it on target. And the goalkeeper makes a good save. But apart from that, Kenny, there's been lacking probably any real quality passages of play. The front boys of Hearts are obviously the exciting ones, but so far Hibs have stifled them.
Yeah, we're all hoping for goals. The guys are predicting it. Hopefully they'll come in the second half. Kevin, would David Gray be looking to change anything, or just take this game deep and see if they can nick one?
Well, as soon as Tom said he predicted 3-2, I said we might as well go up the road.
I think you're right there.
There's time yet.
Another rubbish prediction.
We weren't the only one. We all predicted goal. I think we're expecting a bit more, Kevin, weren't we?
Yeah, we're all crying out for it, because it's two teams that we're all passionate about. We think they're good teams. We know the front players have got goals in them. They've got bags of quality, whether it be Bowie, Boyley. We all know Shankland, but he's probably been another one, Kenny, that he's probably done what he's been asked of him. He's looked after the ball. He's probably linked it at different times quite well, because he's a real good football player. But he wants to score goals. He wants balls in the box. He wants to hit shots. I don't actually think Lawrence Shankland's had a shot at goal in the first 45 minutes. That probably tells you where we're at. But let's hope for a wee bit more quality in it. A wee bit more shots on goal. I would suggest, I might be totally wrong, I would suggest Derek McInnes might want the ball forward a wee bit quicker.
Kevin, we were chatting earlier, I mentioned this in the first hour of the programme, just is there a possibility of having a title challenge this season? Just to expand on that a wee bit, Ryan gave his thoughts earlier in the programme, as did our pundits in the first hour. But is this as weak as you can remember the big two, Kevin, in quite a long time, together?
Well, I think the way they both started, Ken, it'd be hard to get away from that narrative, really. I think that the worst thing you can have when you represent the Old Firm is not a fear factor. And I can only speak for what I see from the outside looking in. Is I done the game at Ibrox, and I never seen any fear factory Hearts going there. I quite presume that Derek McInnes saying these are soft, they're there to be at, get the crowd silenced, the crowd will be on their back. And normally when I've been there as a Hibs player, or when I've been a Dundee player and I've went to Celtic Park, normally you stand in that tunnel and you think, well, you believe in yourself, you back yourself, of course you do, because that's the way we're made, but normally you're really up against it. If you don't have that fear factor, which I certainly don't think the blue side of the city have got at the moment, it just opens the door for everybody else, and then that brings real serious problems for the Old Firm, because if teams fancy it, the games are already hard enough when you represent these teams, Kenny. Everybody wants to beat you. If there's an extra edge there, it just makes it that wee bit more difficult.
It's a good point, Ryan, isn't it? Because we were saying earlier on, and listen, it may turn out to be the case that the way Motherwell play, for example, will be right up Celtic Street tomorrow. But on the counter to that is you've got a Motherwell side going there with the fans who are probably full of expectation, given how they started the season. St Mirren can take points off the big two. Hibs did it last weekend. Kilmarnock unlucky not to do so against Celtic. It does feel right now, Ryan, that the big two are a bit vulnerable, and teams, as Kevin was saying there, fancy their chances more than they have done in recent years.
100%. Listen, I think that this is the first time not supporting Rangers or Celtic. It's great for us, because we're sitting there saying usually Celtic will have a bad stage and Rangers will do well, and vice versa, but this is the first time that I can really remember that both of them are absolutely imploding at the same time. And through my full career, as Kevin's saying, he would stand in there and back himself, the amount of times I stood in the tunnel when he was playing for Rangers, or you're standing at Parkhead, and I'm just thinking, right, tin hat on the day. Let's see where this can go, because you know you're in for an absolute battering. And you do back yourself, but you know how hard it's going to be. And I look at it now and I think, if I was getting off the bus going into Ibrox or Parkhead, I would be absolutely buzzing, thinking I'm going to make, for me playing for Hearts, I'm going to make a name for myself today, because I'm going to have that opportunity. I mean, when I was playing against Celtic, I'm going up against Van Dijk and players like that, or even at Rangers at the tail end of his career, Davy Weir, you'd be lucky if I touched the ball 3 or 4 times in the full game. And I think now managers, again, like Motherwell and things like that, will be going there and they'll actually be doing team talks on the Friday, thinking, how can we impose ourselves on Celtic tomorrow? Which I just think is crazy, because it's never been that. It's always sort of been that way where you would go, right lads, if we can nick something amazing, but here's our game plan, we're going to sit in, we're going to do this, we're going to have to be up against it. Looking at it now, you'd be sitting in that changing room thinking, we can get at these. And exactly what Tom was saying, I was at the Hearts game at Ibrox as well, and I said it, if they get to 25 minutes, I think Rangers will buckle, and that's exactly what happened. So listen, for me, I'm not a Rangers fan or a Celtic fan, so it's great for me, because, as I said, it's the first time in a long time that I've seen both of them imploding at the same time.
Yeah, it's really interesting now, Tom, isn't it? You look at the games tomorrow, Aberdeen and home Dundee. We both felt Aberdeen were better actually in their last 2 games, and we saw a big difference in how he looked and how he sounded in Jimmy Tulleen on Thursday evening. They're at home to Dundee. Again, you feel that's a must win for them. But then you look at Celtic at home to Motherwell. For me, that is like one of the most exciting games of the weekend. And Falkirk, why wouldn't they fancy it against Rangers?
Yeah, well, they should fancy it. They should fancy themselves to make that a very, very difficult afternoon for Rangers, because most teams are making it a very difficult afternoon for Rangers. So why couldn't Falkirk do it? And I suspect that they will. Motherwell playing really well, playing good football, not winning as many matches as they'd want. We all keep saying that, but they could present a real challenge to Celtic. I know it's good. It will be difficult. You'd imagine there's going to be a reaction from Celtic after the huge disappointment getting booed off on Thursday night. So it could be a difficult game. But Celtic their confidence is paper thin at the moment. Motherwell to go into the lead there. That stadium will turn against Celtic like they did the other night, and that could become a hard afternoon. That's why you'd want. I mean, look, we're all neutrals here, but if Hearts were to win this game, it just piles the pressure again on Rangers, and it piles the pressure on Celtic. That Hearts haven't buckled. Tough game, but they haven't. You look at Braga and you look at Shankly. They're playing so deep. We get them further up the pitch, and from a Hibs perspective, they've had the one shot on target, which was Martin Boyle. But Martin Boyle he's lethal on his day, but he's had 7 touches of the ball. He's had the fewest number of touches of any outfield player.
Yeah.
You've got to get him the ball, So the big game players or the dangerous players aren't really kind of existing in this match so far. But listen, we're only halfway through.
Kevin, we've spoken a lot about what we think Hearts can achieve this season. What do you think for Hibs? I mean, top 6, I guess, at a bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum, Kenny. I think they'll have one eye on that 3rd and 4th spot. I know everybody's getting excited about Hearts potentially splitting the whole form. Listen, I don't see it myself. I think Hearts have got a brilliant manager. They've assembled a real good squad. They've made a brilliant start. But I still think in the end, like what the boys were touching on in the studio earlier on, that it'll still end up 15-20 points in the end. I think the gap. I just think it's so hard to consistently do it week after week after week. Listen, you might get really lucky. You might have your best 11 on the pitch for the bulk of the games, but normally there's 1 or 2 heartaches along the way for certain players, and at I'm not saying smaller clubs, that sounds really disrespectful, but the squads that don't quite carry as much quality within them, you then get stretched a wee bit. And as Ryan mentioned as well, you get to January, you get to February, all these games come thick and fast, the midweek games. I just don't see it, Kenny, if I'm honest. But for Hibs' perspective, I think now that Europe's out of the way, I think they're a bit like the Jambos. They've got a good squad. Dave's proved that he can go through the terrible start that they had. So the resilience that he's got as an individual now, the squad that he knows, the demand of the club he knows, and I think he's assembled a good squad. Boys like Mulligan, boys like Jamie McGrath will be real good players for Hibs. And then he's got the excitement up the top end of the pitch. Bowie, if he can keep him fit, he's already proved that he can score goals. So I think both Edinburgh teams will be fine. Let's just hope the Hibs side end up on top of the Jambos.
Well, let's get back to that in the game tonight. The bragging rights in this match, Ryan. In this second half, are you just looking for a bit more urgency from Hearts in the second period?
Yeah, but I would give it 10-15 minutes and I would make changes. I think that what we're all saying here is 100% right, and we saw it last year. I don't really want to see Lawrence dropping into his own half and getting on the ball, and as I said, it's all neat and tidy and all that. If I'm Derek, I'm literally saying, do you know what, Lawrence, just go and stand in between the two centre halves. Let's get it wide, let's put it in the box, and you just go and do your thing. So for me, I would give it 10-15 minutes. At the end of the day, Hibs can sit in and take the pressure. Hearts need to ask the questions, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't make substitutions after at least 60 minutes.
Yeah, well, we can hope that things improve there at Tynecastle in the second half, so we're not too far away from the kick-off there. Let's hope it improves. We gave it the big build-up. We know conditions. I can see the pictures coming in here, really tough across the country today. So here is the plan on BBC Radio Scotland. We're going to continue on FM until the news at 7, when we'll rejoin our commentary team at Tynecastle. But for full second half commentary right now of Hearts against Hibs, they're just about to get underway in the second period. Tune to Radio Scotland Medium Wave and Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. It's also on the website at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
The Edinburgh Derby.
Live on Sports Sound.
Look again!
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Perfect timing as Hearts prepare to get the second half underway. Left to right in the maroon and white, Hibs in the green and white. Right to left towards the school end Roseburn. Hearts towards the Gorgie Road end as the kick-off is taken, and again, like at the start of the game, launched up high into the air, this time by Hearts, and out it goes off a Hibs head and out for a Hearts throw-in on this near side, which Harry Milne is over.
Must be because we're close to Murrayfield, these centre.
Yeah, it's they're not quite finding touch, but it is coming off a defender and ultimately going for throw-ins in more advanced positions, so it is working for both teams. Hearts have it. Kizaridis, another one of his little fancy flicks, where it goes straight to Chris Cadden, which dilutes the fancy part of the flick, I suppose, as it's clear down the right. Bowie goes after it. He's managed to keep it in play, but only to Hearts' benefit. It's all the way back with Schwolow, who starts in goal for the hosts. McEntee, Halkett, Findlay and Kingsley, as Schwolow's clearance comes out. There's a card coming here, and it's Josh Campbell who's brought down by McEntee.
Yeah, he just anticipates it quicker, Josh Campbell, and he just gets caught on the wrong side. McEntee, I'm not so sure he expected it. Just goes back for Cammy Devlin, and he just gets first run, Josh Campbell. He's certainly not slow in getting his card out there. David Dickinson made his decision quickly.
So Hibs free kick in an advanced position. The rest of the Hearts team is Milne, Beningame, Devlin, Kizaridis, Braga and Shankland. Hibs have Salinger in goal, O'Hara, Hanley, Iredale, Chris Cadden, Mulligan, Barlasser and Obita, with Campbell, Boyle and Bowie. Barlasser and Obita over this free kick. In a good position, this, almost level with the edge of the Hearts D of their penalty area. Obita with the left, it is, dinks it in, there's a header, it's a great position for Campbell, he's headed over, but he's offside. So, yes, it was a great position, but it was an offside position he'd taken, and it will be a goal, a free kick to Hearts here inside their own box. 0-0.
Hearts just causing their own problems there. I mean, you're 2 minutes into the second half and you're trying to play it out from the back. Sometimes, I mean, I might be dead old school in that, but sometimes I'm just like, see, for the first 5 minutes, go and play in Hibs' half, go and ask them some questions. Hearts just put needless pressure, and again, if it's a good ball in, then they get a header, they get a chance. Hibs get their back up, and it's just so needless from Hearts' point of view.
Long ball from Schwolow from the free kick, headed forward by Hanley across the halfway line. It's Halkett, he gets there ahead of Bowie, just gets it back to Findlay, who launches it forward with the left foot down the right. Milne gives chase and gets onto it. It's a poor touch though, and then bobbles off his shin and out for a throw-in to Hibs on this near side. Hibs were unbeaten against Hearts in the campaign last time around. First time they've done that in one league season since 2012-13. They've also won successive top-flight meetings with Hearts for the first time since Mixu Patalainen was their manager back in May 2009. Ryan Stevenson.
I think they're going to have to make changes. I think Hearts just, especially in the wider areas, I think that they would need to just try and get something into the game. It's very, I know we're only a couple of minutes in, but it's very lacklustre at the moment from Hearts.
What do they go to, Rye? What do they look for? A spittle or a bit of imagination? Or
yeah, even getting Blair on, and I know he's not the quickest, but even getting him on, and he's got that delivery, he can do it on both feet where he can whip balls in. He's obviously, he's good on set pieces as well. I just feel as if they need to do something. I think that if they keep it this way, Hibs will grow into the game.
They've started the second half
yeah,
better of the two teams, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's going to be a throw in here for Jack Iredale to take. He is beyond the midway point of the Hearts half. He's got plenty of options to hit in that Hearts penalty area. It's another one of these long throws, is bowled into the Hearts penalty area by Iredale. Hanley got something onto it, but it breaks to Beningame, who clears. Braga will chase. Cadden will get there first though. Knocks it forward first time. Beningame's headed away, only as far as Mulligan, but he's lost it. Hearts have it with Kizaridis. Comes into the midfield area and stabs it out to this near side for McEntee, who goes back to Craig Halkett. Forward into the engine room for Devlin, who'll then turn it out to the left for Kingsley. Approaching the end of the first 5 minutes of the second half. Hearts nil, Hibs nil remains the scoreline. Kingsley down the line for Kizaridis. Back to Kingsley, looking for Braga, cut out by Cadden and cleared. When you look at the Hibs bench, there's an argument to say that they've got more game-changing options there. Nicky Cadden, Jamie McGrath, Thibaut Clege's there. And options as Hanley has to do some defending up against Braga. Did he trip him? Yes, says the referee. There's the whistle. Again, he's left it a beat, and that's why the Hearts supporters are so furious. They think that was a fair challenge by Claudio Braga, who's wagging his finger at referee Dickinson.
it just looks like he clips his heels to me, Liam. I think he gets there first. The official's right in front of it. As you'd expect,
Grant's just using his experience here, isn't he?
As you'd expect, the home fans will disagree with every decision that goes the Highby's way.
Iredale, the long ball forward, the flick from Bowie goes straight out of play. He was looking for Campbell. It is no Hearts throw in on this near side.
But more of that passage of play for me was more intriguing than the respect of Braga running in behind. Getting Grant Hanley to run back to his byline, it's probably not been the way for Hearts. If Harley played in behind this Hibs back line.
Yeah, they've been relatively untroubled throughout the match, which is strange given we're here at Tynecastle, the crowd right on top of you.
Listen, I don't think Grant will mind me saying this, but anything in front of Grant, as I said, he would head it his Grant. So anything in front of Grant is amazing for him. Anything in behind Grant, he does not want to face his own goal. And I think that's what Hearts have to start doing. They have to start getting the balls down the side to the centre halves.
It's with O'Hara, who clears, long ball with the right foot, looking for Boyle, headed away by Findlay. It's a little bonus, finds Devlin, who rolls it out to Kingsley on the far side, then Shanklin to Devlin, back to Shanklin, and then out to Kingsley on the left. Controls with the undersole of his left boot and rolls it along the halfway line for Devlin, who finds Beningame, and back to Devlin, who rolls it back to Findlay, who then turns it out to the left for Kingsley. Under pressure from Mulligan, shrugs off that attention and finds Devlin, who will roll it back to Stuart Findlay, who squares it to Halkett. McEntee is in space on this near side, and he turns it back to Craig Halkett, who will then roll it back to Shvolov. Hibs pressing the game suitably here and forcing Hearts back. Shvolov's long ball flicked on by Braga. Kizaridis can't get onto it. Cadden gets there first and turns it back to his goalkeeper. Long ball from Salinger, too high for Campbell, and it breaks to Halkett. Hearts is trying to get a foot in the ball here, knock some passes about and try and work our way through this Hibs side. Hearts win this, they go 11 points clear of their neighbours. It's quite the gap, even at this, and especially at this stage of the season. We'll be just 7 matches in. And close of business tonight here in Edinburgh, as Iredale knocks it down this near side touchline across coverings McEntee, who puts it out for a Hibs throw-in midway inside Hearts territory.
Pass that Hearts have hardly played all afternoon, that one for Iredale. But down the side, I know it's only coming up throw-in, but it just gets everybody scrambling back to the goal. It gets you further up the pitch, gives your front players more opportunity to attack the goal. I'm actually looking at the Hearts team and thinking, your Cammy Devlins, the back line, Beningame in the middle of the pitch, who is that player that's going to play that forward pass? I'm not sure where it's coming from.
It's a long throw-in into the Hearts box by Iredale, and it's headed away by McEntee and out for another throw-in. think our reporter tonight, Brian McLaughlin, has sent a picture of the Wheatfield stand over on this far side with a pretty spectacular sunset behind us. We can't see that. There's glowing pink behind the Wheatfield stand. The calm after the storm, perhaps. Long throw in here, which Iredale will again throw into the Hearts box, level with the penalty spot. And it comes, it's headed away. Breaks to Braga, it's a good touch now. Braga's got the jet heels on, driving up to the halfway line, across he goes. Trying to stick with him there is Mulligan, who does well, but he's had to turn it out for a throw in to Hearts, about level with the Hibs penalty spot on this near side.
It's not rocket science, just run in behind them and you see straight away, get a throw in. And again, as Tom was saying, it's only a throw in, but every single Hearts fan's clapping in the stadium. It just starts that bit of momentum, and then they go and kill themselves by going back to the centre halves.
Yeah, they have done. Back to Findlay, left of the centre circle. 54 minutes played 0-0. Long ball from Findlay. It's nodded half away by Bowie, but it's broken to Kizaridis in the box. Couldn't find a teammate. He's gone down. Kizaridis, not sure what happened there. The ball had gone. He's in the box with Devlin wide in the right. Knocks it off with Beta, and Hearts of a corner. First time really since the turnaround that they've been threatening that Hibs penalty area. Not sure what happened to Kizaridis there.
Yeah, I think just somebody maybe stood on his toe. Certainly maybe a wee bit of contact, not enough to get a penalty. I just think the balls literally went forward so much quicker, and it's created one a long throw, albeit didn't come anything, and never set play that you've got an opportunity to put the ball in the box. Just for playing forward that wee bit quicker.
Harry Milne over it. He's played it low, back to Kizaridis, takes the touch right hand side of the box, shuffles, shoots, blocked. Breaks to Milne again. Milne looks up, goes for goal, comes off Hanley's head, spins up high into the air. Kept alive by Braga. Not a great ball, but Kizaridis has managed to keep it in play at the touchline. Infield to Devlin, comes off Cadden, almost broke to Shanklin, and Hibs clear. Better from Hearts this. Good bit of pressure on that Hibs defence.
Again, getting into Cammy passing forward. I think that's when him and Benny sometimes struggle. As we're saying, Cammy and Benny are both very neat on the ball, and they'll go and they'll win the ball and they'll recycle it. But there has to come a point in the game, at some stage you have to pass forward, you have to ask a question, and he does that there, and they create an opportunity.
Yeah, perhaps they don't break the lines, whereas you would mention that Blair Spittle's the kind of guy who would do that.
Just taking that opportunity to try something, to try and get it forward, to try and get in behind somebody.
It's Devlin for Hearts, out to Milne, he can't control, there's too much on the pass, and it bounces off the Hearts player and out for a throw into Hibs here, about level with the edge of the centre circle. In their own half, it's Iredale bowling it back to Hanley. And then in turn go back to Salinger, who's relatively recently disposed Jordan Smith as the number one choice of goalkeeper. It's nicked out to Iredale. It's a poor ball from him though. He was looking for Barlaser, he's giving it straight to Beningame. He finds Devlin, that's in behind Braga though, the ball forward. And Hibs win it back through Mulligan. Plays it to Iredale, long ball looking for Boyle, headed away by McEntee. Cushion header by Devlin, back to Beningame. He turns it back with the left foot to Findlay. And out to the left hand side for Kingsley. Forward to Shankland. Under pressure from Mulligan, who wins it back well. Now Kieran Bowie. He's not had a great night so far, Bowie, when he's turned it back there to O'Hara. He finds Hanley and now switches it to Iredale.
Again, if I'm playing centre mid there, I would honestly be losing my head with Lonsdale and just saying, could you please move? Like, get up front. I mean, if I'm playing in next year there, Tom, if I'm playing up front and I'm coming into your space, you don't want me in there. And again, then he gives the ball away and Hearts are majorly under pressure. They then win it back, but they've got nobody up front.
It almost plays like I'd hate to put him in the same bracket obviously, but like a Harry Kane, doesn't he? He wants to drop in and probably doesn't back his speed to run in behind. Now listen, I think he's a brilliant football player and gives the balance to the team because he can look after it, but when you do that and turn the ball over, as you mentioned, you know, Grant Hanley and the Hibs back line, they've hardly really played up against anyone today.
Across Scotland, with the latest news, every kick of the ball, music
the ball
and culture.
On digital
Iredale.
radio
BBC Sounds.
And your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio Scotland.
Halkett gets there and wins it back, and now it's with Beningame and switch to Kingsley on the left. He's got a bit of space to work in here before he pushes it down the line, left hand side for Kizaridis. He's going at Cadden. Mulligan there too. Kizaridis chops in. Really think about the shot again. Checks his run, moves back to the left, out to Kingsley. Kingsley's cross comes in, it's a good one, and it's quite reached Milne. It's flicked away by Obita, and out for a Hearts throw in on this near side instead. Level with the penalty spot.
Yeah, it was better again, just getting it wide, getting across in the box. and it was actually a decent ball in there from Stephen Kingsley, just probably a bit too much on the back post.
Devlin to Milne, and then Kizaridis, and then Devlin, across it comes, blocked by Hanley, corner to Hearts.
He does ever so well, Grant Hanley, just protecting his near post there. Real menacing ball in for Cammy Devlin. Almost just perfect, going straight across the 6-yard box for Hibs.
Is there a sense a goal is coming? One of these two. Hearts looking the more likely at the moment. Hibs started the second half brightly. It's low back there by Milne to Kizaridis. Back to Milne, gets the cross towards the back post, headed tamely down into the ground, and it bounces up to McEntee. Attacked it, and it's a comfortable take for Salinger, and it stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0. And we're a minute shy of the hour mark at Tynecastle Park, under the lights here in the capital. These two going head to head for the first time this season. He's back with the Hibs goalkeeper. I think it was Ryan mentioned at half-time he'd wait 10-15 minutes and then make changes. Well, we've got to that point in the match now.
I mean, what do I know?
They must be coming though, you would have thought.
If it was me, I'd be making changes just now. I mean, I'm trying to say I think you'd maybe give another 5 or 10 minutes, but you can see the boys are out warming up. But I do think the last 5 minutes have been better for Hearts. But I would just get something fresh on just to ask another question.
Here come Hibs with Bowie, strong play from him, but his touch takes it too close to McEntee, who clears. Shanklin is thrown to the ground by Iredale, and that's going to be a free kick to Hearts, right at the centre circle, and I think the home fans are wanting Iredale booked for that. Doesn't look as though a yellow's coming. The benches, for you if you aren't aware of them, for Hearts, Craig Gordon back on there, McCart, Kabangu, Steinvender, Spittle, Forrest, Wilson, Magnuson and Kariota. For Hibs it's Smith the sub-goalie, Levitt, McGrath, Cleege, Cadden, Hoylett, Megwa, Bashiri, Molotnikov, Nicky Cadden of course. And there are a few game changers on there for both sides. As I mentioned, perhaps Hibs with the better options in that regard. Spittle and Forrest, Wilson I suppose, but we shall see what Derek McInnes decides to do.
Even young James Wilson, and I get it, James can be raw at times, but he'll run, he's quick and behind. Can you go and ask questions of the centre halves? I think he's just crying out for that, and I know I keep going on about it, but can you go and turn them? James Wilson's got that pace to maybe ask a few questions.
Goalless here in Edinburgh, and it's with Grant Hanley at the edge of his box. Walking pace, decides to turn it back to his keeper. And given they're the visitors, a draw, which would be a 6th in a row for Hibs, would be the better result for them. And a better result for Hibs than it would be Hearts if it was a stalemate. Bowie picks up a record equalling 6th draw in a row should it happen. Of course, in league matches they were beaten in the League Cup by Rangers, haven't won since beating Livingston the round before that. Real frustration, and they haven't even managed to win at Easter Road yet this term. And it's Bita clipping it forward. Bowie gets a flick, and now Boyle's onto it. Left hand side chance for Martin Boyle, off the crossbar and away by Findlay. He's got to score, he hasn't. Cadden puts it back in, headed away by Halkett. Obita can't control it, and Hearts clear through Devlin. Martin Boyle has had this derby's 2 best opportunities. One in the first half was saved by Svolov. That time he dinked it over the Hearts goalkeeper, and agonisingly for the Hibs captain at number 10, it bounces back off the crossbar, and Hearts clear, and it stays nothing each.
Oh, he's got to score, Liam. It really does. And the only person you'd want it to fault it is Boyle. It just comes off his speed. Obita swings it round the corner with his right peg, just into an area really like what me and Ryan have been talking about. Gives him something to chase. Great improvisation. He's got to score.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Bowie that time. Lovely little flick into the path of Boyle. He got goal side of the Hearts defence, and that's when you start having kittens, Ryan, when you see Martin Boyle in that kind of position, rampaging away from you.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just saying there. Hearts have probably been decent in the last 5 or 10 minutes with some bits of play, getting corners and things like that. One ball down the side, and it's almost said Boyle should score that, and you find yourself 1-0 down. So, I mean, if you're standing in the 2 dugouts just now, you can see now Derek's sitting down next to Paul Sheil and Alan Archibald. They have to be talking about changing something.
Yeah, it's a glorious chance. for Bonds. That is the best chance of the game so far. His other one was great technique, but it was still had a lot to do when it came to him.
I don't know if he wanted to try and shift outside his body, Liam, so he could obviously find the far post. I don't know if just his last touch has caught under his body, which then makes him make that decision that he needs to lift it. Obviously a real intricate dink. So unlucky to come off the crossbar. And as you mentioned, the two best chances, that's what Boyle does. He can be null and void at times, he can not be involved, and then just a blink of an eye because he's got blistering speed and he sniffs out a chance.
McEntee for Hearts up the other end. How important will that miss prove to be? Come full time, McEntee's cross comes in. It's way too close to Salinger though, who gathers on his 6-yard line.
What I will do is I'll give Hibs confidence again, so it will, and a lot of it thinking, right, okay, let's go.
Know what I'm surprised about? The front three Hearts don't go and chase the ball quicker. It's almost as if like you're just inviting it. So passive. Yeah. I know high press is hard. Listen, Shanklin's not obviously the most mobile.
Oh, it's a dreadful ball out of defence by Barlasser. He's giving it straight to Devlin. Now it's Braga at the edge of the box, encouraged to shoot. He does. Salinger makes the save to the left and holds on. A shot on target for Hearts. It's a comfortable take for the keeper, but my goodness me, Barlasser is breathing a massive sigh of relief there. Daniel Barlasser, what a dreadful ball out of defence it was.
I know that's not high press, but it's amazing when you put the right players under pressure, you force them to play into tight areas, you're set to win it, and before you know it you get a shot at goal. Something that Hearts have not done too often, but it's certainly there for them. I think it's almost like the front three just drop into an area and allow the back line Hibs to have it.
Chances at both ends all of a sudden. McEntee for Hearts on the right, crosses with the right foot, sails away from everyone. Devlin will keep it in play over on the left flank in front of the main stand. Infield to Kizaridis, gets his cross in, headed away by Iredale to the edge of the box, headed back forward by McEntee, can't find Braga, and it's right through the Salinger, and it stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0, and play will be stopped, I think, for an injury sustained by Harry Milne at the edge of his box.
Tom's right about that as well. See when you do, and it might be needless running to an extent, but see when you do that, you engage with the fans, and the fans then engage back with you, and it just gives the full place a bit of a buzz. And I've done it. I've been on that pitch where you might not be playing that well, and the fans start interacting with you, and you get a little bit of buzz, and you just think, "Oh, I'm going to go now," and everything just sort of swings into your favour. I think when Hearts play that way and they drop deep and they're dead passive, as we're talking about the front three, everything sort of just goes quiet round about the stadium.
I think the one thing, Rai, that we can see from here, sorry Liam, interrupt, is like it allows the Hearts line to deepen a wee bit. I don't think if the front boys want to go and chase, the back line has to be brave enough to squeeze up, and then that leaves you a wee bit vulnerable with Boyle obviously over the top. But I think the boys, like all due respect to Grant Hanley's and the boys at the back, if you put them under pressure, you've got half a chance of getting the ball back off them.
The centre halves have to.
Yeah, here's a chance for Hibs down the right. Cadden's onto it from Campbell, level with the 6-yard line, wins the corner in front of those Hibernian supporters who thought they'd scored 5 minutes ago when Martin Boyle was in and dinked it off the bar. It is a corner to the high B's, and Jordan Obita goes out to take it. Remember earlier on, a draw between Dundee United and Livingston. It finished 1-1 at Tannadice. It was 2-0 Kilmarnock at home to St Mirren. Tomorrow, Aberdeen Dundee, Celtic Motherwell, Falkirk Rangers to come. All 3 o'clock kickoffs live on Sports Sound in some way, shape or form. Details to come. Then it's the international break. Obita's corner into the 6-yard area is headed away by Halkett. Knocked back there by Mulligan towards his own goalkeeper and helped on its way by Cadden. Gets it back to Salinger, he rifles it forward, he's giving it straight to Milne. It's not a good touch, Barlasser's back onto it, and he's managed to thread it out wide left for Campbell. Boyle and Obita wait in the middle, Bowie getting there, the cross doesn't get past first base though. Bounces out for a Hibs throw-in. Campbell takes quickly, it's Barlasser, moves towards the edge of the box, looking for support, manages to squeeze it to Mulligan. Mulligan then runs into Shankland, who does well defensively. Now it's broken Beningami's way. Out to the left for Kizaridis. It's been a strange game in many ways. Kizaridis forward, looking for Shankland, cut out by Hanley. And Hibs clear. What a good game this would be to win for whoever, if anyone, comes out on top. Here's Braga out to Beningame now with Kizaridis. Looks up at the box, gets the cross in. Oh, it's too close to Salinger, but Hanley didn't hear him, obviously. Breaks towards Shankland and swept away by Obita. Well, that's a chance. Bowie holding off Beningame brilliantly there. As Hibs now come in the counter. Campbell, he's got it through to Boyle. Was he offside? We'll find out in a moment. Boyle's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Boyle's in! Boyle finds the net and the flag goes up! calmly done, but I'm pretty sure Martin Boyle would have half expected the flag to go up there. And it doesn't count, it stays 0-0 on 68 minutes.
Starting to turn into carnage. I mean, from a Hearts point of view, the only person you want it to fall to, Lawrence Shankland, takes a bad touch, Hibs straight up the park, and Boyle again. We think he is offside, but Boyle going through and scoring, and it's just turning it.
Right, the decision, the on-field decision's been confirmed there, so he was offside, but you just never know with Martin Boyle.
It's literally turned into a game of basketball with a flick of a switch, and it obviously suits Boyle that, you know, end to end, one end to the other, loads of space, team's less set, and you expect him to score, Liam. I almost expected him to score all the time every time he goes through, because he's got that quality, Boyle.
You'll be annoyed he didn't do that 5-10 minutes ago.
I just think it's off his last touch. I know it's in a different area of the pitch. I know he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He was at a tighter angle for his chance that comes off the bar, but you can see him
close to the keeper.
He opens his body up. He feels it in the corner. He's got that quality. Whereas I think his first chance, maybe his last touch, I don't know if it was off his chest or off his head just to get out his feet. But I just think it ends up squaring his body, so it's harder to open his body up. They'll be gutted he didn't went too early there, because he certainly doesn't need to with the speed that he's got.
There's good build-up play by Hibs, but it's Hearts this time. Braga's got it away from Barlasser, shifts it through to Shankland, and it's a really important bit of defending by Hanley, just as Shankland thought he might get sight of goal there. Hanley threw himself at it, and it breaks back to Salinger's gloves and stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0 on 69.5 minutes.
But that's better from Hearts. Better launch at the top of the tree there, getting a good ball into him, but asking a question of Grant. It's good defending in the end from Grant Hanley, but Hearts doing the right thing there, asking the question.
Long ball forward, evades Campbell and out for a Hearts throw-in. I said, Kevin, it's been a strange game. To me, it has been. How do you feel about that?
Listen, I've loved it, Liam, to be honest. I know it's lacked a wee bit of quality. We're desperate for a goal.
That's what I mean. It's been lacked quality, but there's been plenty going on.
I've loved it with the fans. I love the fact they're coming together. I think the referees had a good game, albeit I think he potentially could have shown another yellow card or two, but he's been composed, he's not got much wrong. And it's just that goal, that one bit of quality. Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the star? We thought it was going to be Boyle.
The Hearts fans thought Braga was being fouled by Hanley there. A wry grin on the face of Claudio Braga, and it goes out for a Hibs throw-in instead. Level with the edge of the centre circle in the Hearts half here, over on the Sweetfield stand side.
Even if Derek isn't going to make a substitution, you know what I would do is I would drop Braga into the hole and push Lawrence up and switch him round about, even for 10 minutes, just to see if he's not going to make the sub, just to try and...
Yeah, it gives you a bit more energy in there, doesn't he? He's more than willing to travel with the ball. Braga, I think it was his pass, right? And
into Lawrence,
So he's got that forward pass as well. He's obviously a buzz bomb. He probably gets a licence to run about here, there and everywhere, but it's amazing that neither manager's really thought about subs, because we've mentioned it, haven't we? But sometimes when the games are that tight, you almost don't want to stop the flow, or you don't want to give the opposition an ascendancy or make a mistake.
Listen, it's easy for us me sitting up here saying I would do this and I would do that, but it's a totally different ball game when you're standing in that dugout.
To be fair, it can change the game in your favour, but can have a negative impact.
Yeah, absolutely,
as well.
absolutely. A stick or twist.
Yeah, we shall wait and see. There's just under 19 minutes of the 90 to go. No goals as yet. It's a Hearts throw-in. It is the home team doing the attacking here, level with the Hibs penalty spot. Kingsley bowls it back to Devlin, who in turn goes back into the centre circle for Halkett, who rolls it low out to the near side for McEntee. Out to Milne, infield Shankland, he's trying to return it to Milne. Frustration etched all over the face of Lawrence Shankland. Milne didn't read it, and it goes behind for the goal kick for Hibernian.
Two players on different pages, unfortunately for Hearts. Just wanted to give and go.
Hearts have made this superb start to the Premiership season. Just 2 points dropped up to press from their 6 matches. It's been 16 out of the 18 available. First time in 7 years they've done that kind of points tally after 6 games. Hibs have been drawing way too often for Dave Gray's liking. No wins in their last 7. Heading right now as it stands for 6 draws in a row in the league. First time since 1994. But here's Braga, chested to him by Shankland. Iredale slides in. Oh, he's got the balls. He's a referee. Braga's on the deck. He's inside the D of the Hibs box. And it's play on. That's in behind, looking for Martin Boyle. He's in again. Boyle's in. Boyle's in. Saved. There's a rebound chance for Campbell, but Halkett gets there there first, and the flag goes up on the far side, and it stays. Hearts nil, Hibs nil. Action at both ends. It's been a little bit hear him, scare him just these last 10 minutes or so.
Wow, just wow, Liam. The Braga one, obviously we can't see from this angle. We know replays. Iredale looks like he gets the ball, obviously for a Hibs perspective, but Braga's obviously absolutely raging. He sees that he gets none of the ball, and then Boyle goes it early again. You're just expecting the net to ripple. Obviously called offside, but
he has to do better as well, doesn't he?
I right. Listen, I never played in the front line, but he's got so much speed. Obviously, he's waiting on that ball coming. You're cat and mouse, aren't you? But
even when he gets in that position, it is a sloppy touch as well.
He just take his poor touch. He does.
Iredale had to time that to perfection there. But the challenge just before that.
But what I will say about Boyle is, at one stage, we were always taught this was keep making the runs, because at one stage you will be onside, and then it's having the composure to, when it is onside, to take that chance. But right now, the game is on the knife edge. But the more chances, the more clear-cut chances, as much as they've been offside, they're going to Hibs.
Hearts fans didn't like the challenge by O'Hara, and Braga and the referee this time agrees with them. Hearts free kick over on that left-hand side. It may be that one goal's enough tonight to decide it. I think Jamie McGrath is going to be on for Hibs very shortly for what will be the closing 15 minutes or so, depending on when they manage to get him on. I suspect they'd wait till after they've defended this free kick before they make any changes. And an opportunity here for Hearts, perhaps. It's Kingsley and Kizaridis over the free kick on the far side. Martin Boyle the closest to it. He is bang on the angle of the box, the left angle of the box if you're Hearts, as they attack the Gorgie Road end off to our right. Can they come up with this? Kizaridis leaves it. Kingsley in, comes off Cadden's head, comes to Halkett, and just flicked away from him. The last there by Kieran Bowie, and out for a throw-in. And now Hibs will make at least one change here. It's going to be Josh Campbell coming off and replaced by Jamie McGrath. That was the change in the starting 11, or at least one of the two changes that David Gray made. McGrath came off injured at Celtic Park last week. Hasn't trained much during the week, but he is fine. Kevin Thompson for the final 15 minutes plus stoppages as he replaces Josh Campbell at 0-0.
Yeah, he wasn't one that I was surprised when I seen the team come through, Liam. Josh Campbell, bundle of energy, extra man in midfield. He's willing to run channels, he can get back, he can help the team. Obviously does millions and millions of miles without the ball. Jamie McGrath obviously maybe not quite as mobile as Josh, but certainly has that quality, doesn't he? So I think that's certainly an attacking option substitution for Dave. I think he'll be looking for Jamie to hopefully get an opportunity to try and maybe play that key pass.
Harry Milne with the cross, comes off Obita, behind for a Hearts corner on this near side. They've had a good little period here, albeit Hibs have still threatened on the counter. And it's going to be a Harry Milne corner on this near side, Ryan.
Just please put it in the area. That's what I'm saying. The last couple of free kicks, it's hit the front man. Just chip it in that area, let Finlay go and try and win it.
His last couple of corners have been played short to Kizaridis. This time it comes into the box towards the back post, headed away by O'Hara, killed in the chest by Devlin. He intelligently flicks it out to this near side, back to Milne, takes a touch, left foot cross comes in. What a ball it was, but Salinger claims flags up anyway. It looked like a good ball. We're right behind that. It's just slightly too close to Salinger, though the goalkeeper had to be brave and come into the ruck of bodies, and he's ended up injuring himself in the process. So just the one change made by both teams, and we are 77 minutes into this now. McGrath for Campbell. Still Derek McInnes on his Edinburgh Derby debut has resisted the temptation to make changes to his 11. The team out there for Hearts is the team that started the match. Salinger plays it short then to Hanley, who then goes back to his keeper.
I wonder how long if this goes, if Derek's just going to think that he can take the point and he's not losing his first Edinburgh Derby, and we're still obviously in an amazing position.
Have we seen the famous McInnes pragmatism tonight, do you think?
Yeah.
But not, he likes that when he goes 1-0 up. That's the difference. They've not found the goal tonight.
I just don't know whether he thinks it maybe takes momentum out the bigger picture of things. If we do lose a goal and get beat, if he changes it. I'm so surprised that we're now so deep into the second half and we haven't had a substitution. All looked at even switching Lawrence and Braga.
And they should be behind to all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I know that's what I mean. find it strange that he hasn't, but in the back of my head now I'm thinking, is he sitting there thinking, right, even if it is disappointing if we draw the game, but do you take the draw?
Kilmarnock and Celtic in their next 2 games. Celtic coming here, what a day that will be. It's Binningame for Hearts, back to Devlin, rolls it to the left for Findlay. Everyone bar, Schwolov is in the Hibs half, and you hear the groans from the Hearts fans because that ball's gone back to the Hearts keeper.
As it stands right now, I'm looking at the substitutions, there's nobody really, you can always usually tell if one of the boys are sprinting up and down the line, or some of the boys that are sitting on the bench are sent out, but there's not really much action coming.
Nothing looks imminent, does it? It's gone out for a Hibs throw-in on this near side.
And at the moment, I think the only way that Hearts are going to score is a cross coming in, and it falls at Lawrence's feet, or it's going to fall at somebody's feet. I don't really see Hearts cutting Hibs open at the moment, the way they're playing.
Throwing Hibs, taken by Iredale into the Hearts half, headed away by Halkett. And it breaks back to the Hearts defender. He goes back to Schwolov. I think change is coming now. Elton Kabangu's certainly coming on. And the other change will be Saba Keryota. And it's going to be a Hibs free kick. We await to see who comes off for Hearts. But there are the changes, and they're going to be made with a little over 10 minutes left of the 90. It's with Hanley. Turns it back to his goalkeeper. Salinger plays it with the left foot to his right for Hanley. So look up at the Tynecastle pitch ahead of him and launches it forward with the right foot. Underneath it's Findlay. It's headed away. Some bounces around the midfield. Barlasser flicks on. Looking for Boyle, who can't control. Kingsley gets it back. On the far side, it's all so tight and scrappy at times. It has been throughout the evening. It's Cadden down the line for Bowie, chasing towards the edge of the right side of the Hearts box. Devlin does a brilliant work defensively there, and then Halkett slides in on Cadden, but the assistant is waving his flag frantically there. He didn't like the challenge on the Hibs player, and there might well be further action being meted out here. Let's wait and see what David Dickinson does. It might just be that it's the free kick, but it's in a good position here, Kevin. At spot level with the 6-yard line. Just a couple of yards from the far side touchline.
Yeah, for here it looks like Halkett wins the ball. Liam, the ball goes obviously out for a throw-in. The linesman, as you mentioned, was a bit frantic with his flag. He's obviously seen the placement of his foot. Halkett, he must have been a wee bit high, but still got a bit of the ball. Cadden obviously stayed on the floor for a few moments, but silly tackle if that's been the case.
Yeah.
He just puts unwanted attention on his back line and a risk to his goal.
It's Frank Connor, the assistant over there, who appeared to make that decision anyway. Obita and McGrath over it. It's going to be Obita, fires it in. It's really disappointing from a Hibs point of view as it sails over the bar. What an absolute waste it was from Jordan Obita. And it stays Hearts 0, Hibs 0, and Hearts could be making a triple change. Steinvender's the other. I mentioned the other two who are about to come on. Steinvender will join them, so it's going to be a triple substitution, Ryan, with 9 of the 90 left. Is there enough time for these changes to have a positive effect on the Hearts' performance?
Yeah, you would hope, obviously, that they come on and they just, sometimes substitutions come on, they just hit that spark straight away. So, I mean, you'd hope that's the case. I don't think 9 minutes is, if I was a sub coming on, I'd be raging, because 9 minutes isn't long enough. You want to come on, especially a game the way it's going. I'd be sitting there at 60 minutes, just staring at the manager thinking, put me on, giving him the death stare.
I'd be doing star jumps in front of him.
Do they still do that?
I used to.
But hopefully they can come on and they can sort of give...
Oh! Well, there's a shout for handball against Grant Hanley.
Oh, no.
And the long clearance comes through to Bowie, who's unable to find Boyle. Boyle peeled off to the right, the ball went to the left. And it's with Halkett, who finds McEntee, who goes back to his keeper. And Grant Hanley took a chance up the other end. He will have come off his arm. Anyway, long ball, Hibs win the header. It's now with Josh Mulligan in the midfield. Takes it out to the right side. Binningame sticking to him, turns it infield to Barlasser. Into the centre circle he goes. Then with the right foot he plays it low out to the left for Obita. Obita infield to Iredale, who goes back to Barlasser. Hearts 0, Hibs 0. Almost 83 played. Those 3 Hearts players waiting to come on. The subs over on the far side. It is O'Hara on the right, down the line Cadden looking for Boyle. Good defending by Findlay, but he's had to put it out for a Hibs throw in. This is about level with the edge of the D of the Hearts box. And the Hearts subs, do they come on now? Yes, looks like it. And Braga's coming off. He's going to be replaced by Kabangu. The first of the changes, Kabangu, who was on loan from Union San-Gilwaz last season. Permanent addition to the Hearts squad now. He comes on to replace Braga. The other changes, we'll see McEntee replaced here by Kyrgiota. I think Steinvender's the other who's going to come on for the closing stages, and he's going to replace Kingsley. Ryan Stevenson.
Yeah, I get the substitutions. The only thing I don't get is bringing them on when we know Hibs have got a throw in right here and they're going to absolutely launch it right into the box. And it just gives me the fear of death when a substitution comes on and you know that there's a ball coming into the box and I'm maybe not as switched on as you should be. So I get the substitutions, but I'm a bit tentative here watching this throw-in coming in.
It's essentially a corner, isn't it? You never see subs made at corners.
All three of the subs are basically in the box.
And it comes towards Bowie, goes down, meeting the sandwich. Hearts get it away, and they're going to get the free kick as well for a foul in Kabangu. So it all comes to nothing from a Hibs point of view. The clock is ticking down. Any goal now surely wins the Edinburgh Derby. We've seen late drama in this fixture many times before. It is Hearts in possession, Steinvender down the line. Played in field by Kyrgiota, but it breaks to Boyle in the halfway line. It's away from Devlin, but Steinvender's there to knock it back to his keeper. And it's played out to this near side for Halkett, who finds Devlin. And it's back with Steinvender, then back to his goalkeeper. 85 minutes, my goodness, it's nail-biting territory now, is it not, Kevin Thompson?
I wish I had a pound for every time you've said back with some of these passes. Yeah, I think it's high stakes, Liam, isn't it? It's probably no team now, I would say, for the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes want to lose the game. I think you can tell that with the play. There's a bit of patience, it's not going forward, the risky passes are becoming less. But certainly there for somebody to be a hero.
It's Kyrgiota on this near side for Steinvender. Hearts doing some attacking this time. Infield to Benny Beningame. Checks his movements, goes left and right, then back to the left. He finds Shanklin, central position, has a goal, ambitious block by Mulligan. Now to Beningame, rolls it out wide left for Milne. There's more than 3 points at stake here. There is capital bragging rights at stake, and Hearts have given it away. Bowie driving forward, Boyle peels off to the right. That route's been blocked off, but Bowie has it, holds off Kizaridis up to the edge of the area. He gets past Steinvender, but not Halkett, and Hearts able to clear. And some of the quality in the final third is perhaps where this game's been lacking tonight. But here comes Shanklin, almost got it through to Kabangu, it's blocked. It's broken to Cadden. Seesaw battle here down the Gorgie Road as Milne makes the challenge. Out it goes for a Hibs throw-in, though the Hearts man thinks it should have been his ball.
Just got to put in a channel, Lawrence Shanklin, into Liam. Give him something to run for. You can see Derek McInnes going absolutely mad on the sidelines. The whole pitch to run into it. He does really well, I think. Stretching out leg, Grant Hanley to block it. No doubt where this is going on, straight in the box.
All being dragged down on the far side by O'Hara. Iredale's in there, Hanley's in there, Bowie's in there. All giants waiting to get on the end of this long throw. Hearts have dealt with them pretty well tonight, to be fair. And it comes again towards the 6-yard line, headed away by Halkett. Another powerhouse performance by Craig Halkett at the back for Hearts tonight. Defence is on top, clearly. Zubita gets on to the long clearance, flicked on by Cadden, but out for the Hearts throw-in over on the far side. There's going to be more substitutions coming here with 3 minutes of the 90 left to play. And it's going to be a Hibs change initially. Bowie's going to be replaced by Clige, I think it is. Thibaut Clige, the club's record signing. And he replaces Bowie. And it's a special booing from the Hearts fans. Kizaridis will be coming off for them, will be replaced by Alan Forrest for the closing stages. Just didn't quite come off for Kizaridis tonight for Hearts. He did have that shot which flew just over in the first half. Didn't see as much of him in the second, Ryan, though.
No, again, it was almost sort of huff and puff, I think it's been from Hearts. It's been tidy at times, it's been good, but it's been good up until 25 yards from Hibs goal, and then it's all sort of petered out. So Yeah, I think it's been disappointing, to be fair, from a Hearts point of view. I think everybody came here.
There's one for Cleege to chase from Cadden. Down the right, Cleege goes. And just, rugby tackles Finlay to the ground and gives away the free kick.
As I say, I think everybody came here from a Hearts point of view thinking that they were expecting this powerhouse performance and this, massive out the traps from the first minute, going at Hibs, putting Hibs on the back foot, asking questions, crosses it. Just what I'm envisaging is crosses in the box, all this sort of stuff, and we've seen basically none of it.
How much of that's down to Hibs?
Yeah, Hibs have done good. I think for an away performance, I think you can't really do much more than what they have. They've got Martin Boyle there as a weapon with his pace. They've defended well. They've worked really, really well. They've stayed tight as a unit. And obviously they've had, 4 or 5 times Boyle's been through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So from a away point of view, they've done everything right, other than Boyle putting it in the back of the net.
Can't think of the Hibs goalkeeper making a save, really.
No, he hasn't. There was one effort in target, wasn't there, which was hit by Braga after Barlasser gave it away. That's the only thick shot I think they've had in target all night.
And I would have saved that. Do you know, so it wasn't as if it was a comfortable
just for a
save.
flamboyant Hibs team. I'm totally with you. I'd expected loads of balls in the box. I expected Hibs to really have to defend for their lives. I think if you're the front three for Hearts, you probably feel a wee bit disappointed because you didn't get enough service. The ball didn't come forward quick enough.
I think if you're David Gray, you're probably happy going to Celtic Park and Tynecastle in successive weeks and not losing either of them.
Oh, he's delighted, but then he'll probably look back and reflect and think the Boyle chances, the big moments in the game probably fell to the man that he'd want him to fall to. And he's probably not done much wrong apart from putting the ball in the net. Imagination for his one that comes off the crossbar, hitting his great strike.
Oh, Hanley's misjudged that. Kabangu, he's managed to get it back to Salinger, who panically is to hit it high and out for a throw-in on this near side, level the Hibs 18-yard line. We've played the 90 minutes. There's going to be 3 added on at the end. Hearts are making a change in the Icelander. Magnussen's going to replace Beningame. Of course, the subs were quite late. There's not really been any on-field stoppages for VAR reviews or anything like that. But we're into the first of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Can one of these two win the match? Turn 1 point into 3 in the final couple of minutes. It's going to be a long throw-in by Steinvender into the Hearts box, or the Hibs box rather. Finlay can't control and Hibs clear. Breaks back to Steinvender, looks up at the Hibs penalty area again. He's further back towards the halfway line, rolls it down the line for Devlin. Now Carriota, level with the penalty spot, pulls it back, cleared by Mulligan. Hibs can't get the ball at the moment. Steinvender again, out to this near side. Carriota up against Obita. He's got his cross, it's a brilliant ball! It's a goal! Halkett scores! Craig Halkett scores to win the derby! Right to the end of the game! The Premiership League leaders! Dream start to the season! Just keeps on giving! And it's an Edinburgh derby winner for Craig Halkett as Derek McInnes celebrates with his coaching staff on the far side. It looks like they've won it right to the death. A result that will take them 5 points clear at the summit of the Premiership. And a week that they've been talking about a title challenge in these parts. They've come up with the kind of goal champions always score. Right to the end, it is Heart of Midlothian 1, Hibernian 0.
It's a masterclass with Derek McInnes. I mean, what it is an amazing ball in, and it is an unbelievable finish for Craig. Unbelievable on the volley into the opposite corner.
An amazing moment for Halkett, a real sickener for Hibs, whose supporters are beginning to head for the exits now. 3 minutes were added, we've played over 2 of them. There will be a little bit on top of that, obviously. The Hearts look to have won the derby, and they're in absolute dreamland right now, these Hearts supporters. 7 games in, just 2 points dropped, sitting proudly at the top of the league and opening up daylight on the defending champion Celtic, who play tomorrow. It's just bedlam round here. Just listen to the noise of the Hearts supporters. An amazing moment for Halkett. It's such a good finish as well. The good thing from his point of view was the ball was so good into him, all he had to do was guide it
Yeah, it's a terrific ball. It really was, and this place just erupts. I think there was actually Hearts fans in front of us leaving because everybody had resigned to 0-0, but it just shows you. In this one, we've seen it before in this Hearts team scoring late, coming through 3-0 behind against Motherwell. The resilience, the character in the team.
The win at
they've not been pretty, but good teams, Liam, win when they're not playing particularly well, and I'm sure Derek McInnes will say that, but he'll be absolutely ecstatic getting that late winner.
Long ball for Hibs, comes forwards, flicked on, but that's it! It's all over! Hearts have won! People asked if they're in a title challenge this season. Well, if they keep producing moments of magic just like that right at the end from Craig Halkett, then there can be no debate that they are. Hibs beaten. Heartbreak for them. They have their chances. We did ask the question, how important Martin Boyle, when he was through and hit the crossbar, how important that moment would be. Well, it's proved crucial. Halkett, wonderful ball in. Met it at the back post with his foot and turned it into the reverse right corner of the net to send 3/4 of the stadium wild with delight. Their manager down there celebrating with his players after punching the air in front of the main stand. Halkett's the hero in a game that probably Hibs will feel they should have won on opportunities. An evening where Hearts barely tested Salinger in the Hibs goal has ended up in victory. And you have to say, at the end of the day, this is what title challengers do in sticky matches like this. Games on a knife edge and on the precipice. They somehow get over the line, and that's exactly what Hearts have done tonight. The Hibs players applaud the fans that remain. But the bragging rights, having not been here at all last season, are with the maroon and white half of this city. But more importantly for Derek McInnes and his players and the Hearts supporters, is it is 3 points, 3 priceless points against their neighbours that's moved them 5 clear of Celtic at the top. And an almighty amount of pressure has just been put on the defending champions who host Motherwell tomorrow, let alone the pressure on Rangers, who were the second force last season and normally are. Hearts are in the mix now. Even this early in the season, they look like they could cause problems for the two Glasgow sides, because it finished here late on with Halkett making the headlines, broad smile on his face down there, and understandably so. Heart of Midlothian 1, Hibernian 0.
Scotty